Good evening, everybody, and a warm welcome to the Creator Series. It's back for Season 2, and we're here and commencing at the Bahrain. The Sakhir International Circuit, of course, folks. Bahrain Grand Prix here tonight. Round 1, as I said, it all kicks off here. A couple of major changes, some drivers moving about to different teams, but the Creators are back, strong as ever. Lots of them, and I'm not alone. I've got a new face in the commentary box alongside me, someone who you might be familiar with in my absence last season, Gareth Allen, alongside me here for this very first race. Gareth, a warm welcome. Welcome back to the Creator Series. We've got a brand new season, brand new opportunities.
Yeah, very much looking forward to this one today. Lots of shuffling of the grid between the two seasons. And yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see how the new driver pairings match up, how that teamwork will play out. And of course, a new track today in Bahrain where our creators can show what they're worth.
Yeah, absolutely spot on, in fact.
Okay, be aware the car behind is catching you by 5/10 a lap, 5/10.
Just update there from Mark if you guys needed that at all. But yeah, brilliant. Incredible. We've got obviously a race coming up, as I said, starting off a brand new season, Bahrain, the Sakhir International Circuit. Let's go through some of the teams and their selections for this season, because like we said, there have been some movements. Mercedes have opted for Hayden Gullis for this oncoming season, alongside Bushy Ants. Very interesting partnership. Obviously, Hayden Gullis moving from Aston Martin, where he was alongside GB68. Further back then, we got Red Bull. Down the order, of course, remaining with the same partnership of Dirk Chocolate and Infratic. Of course, a partnership that we saw all last season. Moving on to Ferrari, we've got Justin Ali and El Taco Man. Taco Man making his debut here in the Creator Series on this occasion, lining up alongside Justin Ali, who drove the Haas last season. This time has opted for another Ferrari engine, but this time the actual Ferrari team. Another team that we've got, of course, McLaren. Tiamat Marduk opting to stay with his team. Obviously a team that he is very passionate about, also an ambassador of as well. Zafso joins him on the grid, of course, last season's champion, who's moved across from Mercedes into the McLaren fold. Alpine, they have Tom, of course, who is an Alpine Esports ambassador. He has got Racing Chai alongside him as well. Looking further down, AlphaTauri, Alex Budd in that car, looks reasonably quick on his day, and he's joined by that guy Vince in his first official appearance this season, and that is a full-time seat for him. Aston Martin, of course, major changes there, because Mr. Dale J.E., of course, who was notorious for crashing out last season very early on in races, he now sets himself up in the mean green fighting machine. That is the Aston Martin. Alongside him, of course, GB68, of course, the Newportonian, the adopted Newportonian, who lines up in the same seat he was in last season. Williams are going back with Curbs, who of course joined the team last year at a couple of sporadic events. Also with him is Meriki, and another driver who has been part of the Williams fold now here at the Creator Series for a long time. Alfa Romeo, they have got Matty212 in his very first appearance here in the Creator Series officially. Looking forward to seeing how he gets on with Rutenius, who is alongside him at Alfa Romeo. Rutenius, of course, at Ferrari last season. He's now moved into Alfa Romeo, so a brand spanking new lineup at Alfa Romeo this season. Haas, they're going with Just Hun, who is unfortunately not with us tonight. Liam is with her alongside as well. We're going to be seeing many different creators come in and out as time goes on, so do not be concerned if you haven't seen your favourite creator, folks. I can guarantee you they will make an appearance without any shadow of a doubt. But let's talk about Bahrain here, Gareth, because of course very shortly we're going to be going into qualifying. Very treacherous in places, some long straights, opportunities for overtaking, certainly through some of the long main straights, including the home straight, not to mention then the straight between turns 3 and 4. But then, of course, you've got that real tricky DRS zone coming out of turn 10, where many cars do tend to either go long or they'll oversteer. Tends to be quite a poignant point. We've seen a couple of cars today, certainly in Formula 3 and Formula 2, where they've gone qualifying, number of cars locking up the tyres and flat spotting the tyres too.
Yeah, it's a real trial for our drivers. Low traction in parts, especially for the first sector, the first set of corners. We'll see a few overtakes there on the first lap, certainly. And I think it's going to be really difficult, really, for our drivers to get for a real trial because it is such one of the hardest races to do 100% racing, I believe. And as you said, turn 10 being so tricky, easy to lock up, easy to go long and deep and hot into that corner, and then that leaves you so vulnerable on the run down to turn 11. Going too wide through 11 and 12 often can cause high jinks. So we'll see how our drivers fare today with that set of parallels.
Yeah, absolutely right indeed. Now, looking also into the final sector, That, of course, does tee up your potential heading down the long straight. It'll be interesting to see who can take full advantage of that. Obviously, an exit out of turn 15, well, 14 and 15, technically they're the same corner, but they differentiate them into two different corners. Naturally, a long run down towards turn 1. Great opportunity for overtaking. We see it time and time again. And then, of course, you've got the opportunity to overtake heading out of turn 3 into turn 4. Now, can't wait for it. Where is George Morgan's waistcoat? It is not making an appearance tonight, folks. Hayden Gullis has had a stern word with me. He is not a fan of the waistcoat, so I'm afraid that is not happening today.
Really? Not a fan?
He's not a fan.
Not to like?
He's not a fan, so I've gone back to the lumberjack shirt, which he hates even more. Well, hates less, but I'll wear it anyway. It's fine. Yeah, it's called abuse, folks. I tell you this now. If you want to direct some back at Hayden, feel free to do so on his stream. He is live on Twitch right now, just to say. But yes, looking forward to this. Just a hater, says everyone. Yes, he is. Yeah, terrible human being. I'm going to cause a right storm on his Twitch page now. Incredible.
Waistcoats-related hate coming up.
Yes, absolutely. Thoughts on debut driver El Taco Man? Why not? Why don't we have thoughts on Taco Man? Because I watch this man stream, subscribe to him on many platforms. Looking forward to seeing what he can do. Big opportunity for some new faces here, Gareth.
Yeah, I mean, El Taco Man racing alongside Just Ali, who's been with us since really the prequel series. So, yeah, that'll be an interesting driver pairing, those two. I also think, Matty 212, that'll be very interesting to see how he gets involved with Retanius. And I don't think he's here today. So I think he is actually being filled by a reserve driver today. But a couple of driver pairings who I think one team who could be unstoppable this season is Safso and Tiamat Marder, of course, our reigning champion, with third in the championship standings last time. Mercedes and Bushy Ants will certainly want to respond to a bit of a patchy last year. Of course, he was ill through part of it. So, yeah, Hayden Gullis and Bushy Ants and Mercedes, that'll be a really interesting driver pairing. And I think we are on for a constructors battle this year.
Yeah, and any predictions in terms of qualifying?
Let's go for someone out of the box.
Okay,
let's go for
let's go on your
Hayden Gullis. Why don't we go Hayden Gullis? Because the last time, first round, a prequel in the prequel series, let's call it, he had a good race that time out. So first round, I think Hayden Gullis. I think something out of the box.
Yeah, well, there you go. I mean, that's a good option. I mean, obviously, Hayden's big problem was getting out of Q2 last season. I mean, that was generally the difficulty for him. He was aligned up with GP68 last season, and they were generally sort of side by side, on various occasions. You could not separate the two Aston Martins. It'll be interesting to see how he fares at Mercedes, whether he does manage to extract that any extra pace, or at the same time whether him and GB are end up going to be joined at the hip again. Obviously, not this time as teammates, but as direct competitors. But I'll tell you what, I'm looking at this now, and I'll be honest with Hayden right now. He's an absolute menace when it comes to his driver camera, because he knows I have to sort them out for the picture-in-picture, folks, and yet he turns it off, so I have to reset it again. Incredible. I swear he does it on purpose. But we love you, Hayden. I swear.
Yeah. I tell you what, one thing I do want to mention, there has been some serious sweating between seasons. The likes of even Dirk Chocolate really putting the hours into the game. He's desperate to score more than just 1 point here or there this season. I think he's looking for maybe his first podium in the Creator Series. Maybe today, who knows if he'll be able to pull that form out, but certainly been putting the time in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Preparation has been wild already this season. I mean, drivers have literally been sweating. I've been accusing them all of sweating as well. They don't get very far without me knowing half the stuff, I can assure you. I've been with them all day. Everyone, of course, watching the brand new qualifying. Obviously, the new sessions are out and about, and many drivers now getting involved watching, obviously, what's going on in the real world of Formula One. But certainly here at Creator Series, we got our own championship to be concerned about, and that's exactly what we have in store. Naturally, I agree with you in a sense that Tiamat Marder and Zafso are going to be two of the big names to watch out for. Obviously, Tiamat Marder, a winner, an incredible winner at Silverstone. Going back to that trip to Silverstone, where, of course, Jamie Mells would spin around the final corner. Probably shouldn't mention his name, because obviously there was a certain cheating scandal that erupted out of that one. But
Voldemort.
Yeah, absolutely. He should not be named. But in hindsight, it gave us probably one of the most dramatic moments we have seen in terms of league racing. Obviously, Tiamat Marder winning it around the final corner, coming out of Club Corner.
Yeah, it was really spectacular. And I think in his stream he was just saying, oh, congratulations, nothing I could do today. And then suddenly, a dramatic win. And yeah, he'll be looking for a second win. Of course, all of our winners who have won so far will be looking for the second win, because we've only had single-digit winners so far, and singular winners, let's say. And actually only 4 winners having put permanent seats this season, so that's something to watch out for. Alex Gillen, I believe, is back today, who of course won in China, which was the last race I covered. But yes, he is. He's going to be back warring with Team at Marduk, and both of those will be looking for their second win in the series.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what we didn't get last season was a lot of back-to-backs. In fact, we didn't get any back-to-back winners, but it was quite interesting. We went so long through the season without anyone picking up a second victory, which I think is a testament to this series. Do you not think?
Yeah, absolutely, because everyone is here to create content, to have a bit of fun, and also to sweat a little bit harder this year, I would say. And I think, yeah, it is a really competitive field out there, and anything could happen in these 100% races. It's a long way through, and a safety car can just switch your fortunes from golden to bad or bad to golden so easily.
Yeah, absolutely right. And in terms of the key points around Bahrain, where do you think the drivers need to maximise their pace in order to be successful here in this session?
Certainly down in qualifying anyway. I mean, if you can find a lot of time through that middle sector from 5 to all the way to 13, then I think that is where the time will be found. The other ones, of course, just being straights, but low downforce is somewhat required because of those 3 long overtaking straights. And yeah, you do not want to be a sitting duck on the straight in the race. So it's a real balance to get the pace down in qualifying.
Yeah, absolutely right indeed. Folks are just waiting for our live feed to come through. Naturally, true professionals here at the Creator Series. As oh, there it is. It is back. We will bring it to you, as you can see. In fact, it just needs to be resized. You can tell we haven't been here a while. Some things still aren't finished. So sort of having to bodge it as we go. But never mind. That's the beauty of this series, folks. It's great.
It's behind the scenes look. It's a kind of drive to survive for the broadcast.
You do
of
get
Creator Series.
You get a good behind the scenes view of what's going on. You get to see our beautiful faces too. So a warm welcome back to the Creator Series. Big hello to Brett Koch as well, the brand new boss at Williams as well. Of course, he's saying though, Gareth, that he's got Meraki for pole, and says totally haven't helped him out. So there's some Williams favoritism happening here at Bahrain.
Yeah, certainly not a biased view at all, and we can take that as a pure racing view. I mean, Meraki fast as well, won back in Belgium in Series 1, of course, and he's certainly one who could turn up the pace here. And if he's been sweating hard in the background, then add him to the pile of tryhards, let's call them.
The pile of tryhards, indeed. Looking forward to this one. Zafso, already purple in the first sector, as he now makes his way down through towards turn 11. And a very, very tricky circuit here at Bahrain. We've enlisted the idea that, of course, it is a very, very tricky circuit to maintain grip levels, certainly given the fact that there is sand on the circuit. But do not write these drivers off. Despite them being only mere content creators, they are still very adept when it comes to the F1 game. And I'm seeing on my camera screens now, certainly the drivers working hard to make things work for them. Safso, incidentally, going purple again in the second sector, looking to follow up a championship with another, if he can. Goes to the top already with a 128.885. So a good start for him. Goes ahead of his teammate, Team at Marduk, and they're already stop the count, Gareth Allen. It's the two McLarens up on top.
Yeah, 5 tenths quicker, though, than his teammate. So you'd have to think that maybe Team at Marduk had a little bit of a mistake on his lap, because you don't expect him to be that far away from his teammate. But it's surprising that there isn't an intermediates championship going on here. All these 4 drivers who have gone out so far have gone out on a pair of softs, so they want to get times on the board immediately, or maybe they just feel like the low traction on intermediates could end their involvement in the session. Yeah,
not wasting any time. Curbs just going into 5th fastest as well, and set to 129.727. That again on soft tyres. No one necessarily out on intermediates, not wasting any time at all. In fact, 13 minutes to go in this session. I'm surprised we haven't seen more times filter in, to be honest, Gareth. We're quite a ways through already, and we've only seen 6 valid lap times posted.
Yeah, so I mean, track limits could certainly be an issue around here, extending out of turn 4, is it, at the top of the hill. Very easy to just run a little bit wide there, and also maybe extending the right-hand side a little bit too much on the run down to 11. But yeah, it is surprising. We're basically halfway through the session, and coming to halfway through the session, and we've only got half the times on the board. So I think, yeah, these drivers are going to have to get a little bit of a hurry up, and we do see some drivers out there finally getting intermediate laps in.
Well, someone is using the wrong number, and it's a Haas in P8. Can you please let us know who that is for us, Gareth?
It's Matty D13, who is a new driver.
Matty,
so,
I'm not sure whether he is. It's definitely not Matty 212 because he is Alfa Romeo generally at the start of this season. But naughty boy should have picked the right number. He's actually taken Dirk Chocolate's number, hence why his name's showing up, folks. So that is not Dirk that you're seeing in P10 currently. Hayden Gullis going 9th fastest, of course, now at the Mercedes team. Dirk Chocolate is still very much part of the Red Bull fraternity. And is actually currently out on a flying lap as well. And, well, in fact, on an out lap. He's about to commence a flying lap. So I would say all these drivers that are now putting times in on the intermediates. Bushy Ants currently sat in P6 overall. 2.9 seconds off the fastest soft tyre time as Meraki now goes ahead of Rasin Chai to go second of the intermediate tyre runners, because the intermediate championship is still in full swing here, Gareth.
Yeah, and Dirk Chocolate currently just on that out lap. He's preparing for his lap, but yeah, again, leaving it really late. He's halfway through the session. He'd have to come in, of course, box 4 another pair of tyres, being a dry compound pair of tyres, to have absolute performance. But I don't think he'll be able to sneak through the top into the top 15, which is of course crucial for Q1 because it's all about who falls out at the bottom. So yeah, he's leaving it late. But Dirk Chocolate, who actually signed with the Red Bull as an ambassador recently, so congratulations to him, is preparing for a lap here for the Intermediate Championship. And so far, I think it's Bushy Ants who's winning that Intermediate Championship split.
Yeah, absolutely right. He's currently holding on to 6th place overall, 1st place in that Intermediate Tyre Championship. El Taco Man also on a fast lap on his intermediates too, as he makes his way through the final sector. Incidentally, Zafso has actually strapped on a set of intermediate tyres himself, so he's already posted a soft tyre time. Regardless, he's going to be on top, so they're going to have to jingle about the lap times if he wants to take part in this Intermediate Tyre Championship. So that's going to be one for the administrators to sort out. El Taco Man now heads out down towards the line. Where does this place him? 14th fastest. That's certainly not going to trouble Meraki. Currently holds on to 7th. Bushy Ants is now since strapped on a set of softs. Yellow flag in sector 1 as well, as the cars now come out of the pit lane. Quite a few of them now making their way in as well. Meraki has just come into the pits too. And Dirk Chocolate, who's now actually on a lap right now, heading through the middle sector, of course heading down now in towards the next right, heading out to turn 8, and he'll now make his way across towards turn 9. Now this one, very tricky, and on the intermediate tyres it certainly makes it a little trickier heading through turn 10, and now very shortly opens up the DRS, does so, heads down now towards turn 11 now at this brilliant circuit. 15 corners here at Bahrain, 5.412 kilometres, that's 3.363 miles on this absolutely fantastic circuit that has been on the calendar since 2005, when it was first opened up with the Grand Prix layout that we have here at this session, and now it's delivered. But we've already had a retirement. For the looks of it, is that Alex out?
Yeah, Alex Budd. I was trying to work out when he fell off the grid there, because I don't. He must have maybe had a collision or lost traction somewhere, because it would be a weird time to remove yourself from the session. But hasn't set a lap time. So at this point, not going to be going through to Q2. So that means only 4 runners will fall out of this session.
Well, there you go. We're going to get a nice view here with Dirk Chocolate, the man who currently sits, of course, in that P9 position, and Red Bull's brand new ambassador, of course, part of the content creator team at Red Bull. Certainly gives you wings, Dirk Chocolate. So seeing him now, just looking at the camera, shifty eyes there. Currently live on screen. Yes, we can hear you. Oh no, we can't hear you, but we can see you, Dirk. As he now, a little moment as he makes his way around, certainly through turn 8. And very shortly down through towards turn 9. Great to see these creators. And Dirk's had a bit of a technical problem because his microphone has just fallen. And That's incredible. Dirk Chocolate giving us a little bit of a comedic portion to Q1. Incredible.
Yeah, so Dirk on the way back into the pits there. He set his lap. And I think it is Bushy Hans who's going to take the honours on the Intermediate Championship. I don't think Safso's time would count in the Intermediate Championship. It's got to be the first one of the session, right? Because he's gone out there, he's crushed the morale with a 1:28.885. He's gone 5 tenths quicker than any of the soft runners early on in the session, and then gone back out on a pair of intermediates. I think that's against the spirit of the competition.
You could be right, and we've got obviously in P16 at the moment the Alfa Romeo team. This is. Have I got this right? Is it Swave?
Swave, yeah, a Canadian
Swave.
content creator who joins the circuit today, joins the grid, and it'll be interesting to see what he can do. I think he is in for Matty 212.
And there we go. So Swave now about to round the final couple of corners here at Bahrain, looking to try and relieve himself off the bottom 5. Currently sits 16th place. Is it enough for a promotion? It is. P7 goes to Swave. TTV, we just saw as well, Mr. Dale, brand new colours this season, Aston Martin, P2, within 1.5 tenths of a second of last year's champion, Zafso. I think you'll be thrilled with that, Gareth.
Yeah, a very good time. Now, there's been a little bit of track evolution through this session. Of course, he spoke about the sand that blows onto the circuit. They do actually use a sticky substance to keep the sand at bay. They spray it down before the races, but of course some sand does creep onto the circuit. But a bit of track evolution as it's cleaned up, and Dale goes a tenth slower. That's a very good time from the Aston Martin driver, and truthfully I think he could be safe through with that one, but we do have a few more times coming in. Van Greffen goes over the line now for the Alfa Romeo team.
Yeah, Rutanius up to P1. That is a superb lap for him. Hayden Gullis up into P4 as well, a 1:29.037. And that's only just over 2.5 tenths, nearly 3 tenths away from Rutanius' top time. More and more cars billowing out of the pit lane now. But Mercedes now feeling a little bit more comfortable here at Bahrain as Gullis sets sights on Q2. Of course, further down, Bushians currently sits in 10th. Zafso coming into the pits. Curbs now off the bottom up to P5. Brilliant lap from him as well. Obviously trying to, in fact, that's not Curbs, I don't think, because I swear that Curbs was in the Williams. So again, we got another naughty driver not using the right driver numbers. Sensational.
In 5th position, it is that guy Vince.
Vince.
So we've got two on the naughty list today, and he was fastest through the middle sector and up into 5th. So more time to come from him.
Yeah, that guy Vince using the wrong number. These are people who are going to get race suspensions after the end of this one. I can assure you, folks. I'm not that
points
cruel.
On the license.
Yeah, points on the license. I'm not that cruel. I swear. But I'm going to let Dirk slap them around a little bit, I think. But yeah, brilliant. Incredible scenes. But 6th fastest now has been demoted slightly because Bushy Ants has gone P1 as well. Mercedes currently occupying Ps 1 and Ps 5 as well. Could this be a sign of things to come, Gareth?
Certainly. I mean, Bushy Ants is super quick, isn't he? And we've seen that around Zandvoort last season and flashes of it throughout the rest of the season. But Bushy Ants super quick. Hayden Gullis, my man for pole position, looking at the pace coming in. I think I may be a bit off on that one, but I think certainly we'll get through to Q2 here. We have 4 minutes left in this qualifying session, and it's getting towards the squeaky bum time of it all.
It is. Alex Gillen up into 4th, subbing in the Ferrari, of course, for this session, joining El Taco Man and standing in the stead of Just One Ali tonight. Always a pleasure to see Alex Gillen. I'm sure Tiamat Marduk won't agree, though.
Yeah, and also he started his own podcast this week, the Virtual Grandstand, where you can vote on predictions for the season and for the races, and then they talk through it with a host. It was quite an interesting listen, actually. So Alex Gillen, been a busy man this week, and he is going to be, I'm sure, in the fight for 4 points today, maybe even a win. I mean, his finishing record is stellar. Zandvoort, first race he did, second position. Second race he did at China, first position. And those are the only 2 races he's done. Maybe he'll finish 3rd today and complete the trio of podium positions in the Creator Series.
Yeah, you never know. Oh, bit of a moment there from GB68. Bit of a cutting of turn 9 and turn 10. Then we can see him in the bottom right-hand corner, making his way up through turn 11. kindly invited me go-karting, actually, in a couple of weeks' time. We are looking to get that
really?
sorted out. Yeah, heading up to Superkart Newport, of course, Newport being our local. And
okay.
I had the invite come through, so we are going to do a little bit of proper racing, should we say. So I'll let you decide if it's proper racing or not, because I can assure you that when you stick, obviously, a commentator and a content creator in a pair of karts, I can absolutely assure you that it's not going to be competitive. But into the pits comes GB68, and currently sitting pretty in P10. And if it stays like this, he'll surely be going through the Q2.
Yeah, so of course only the bottom 5 get knocked out here. Alex Budd not setting a lap, so the drivers in danger at the moment are Swave, Emphatic, Maraki and Matty, and there's a car who's just going to be live. I think it was the Alpine of Rasin Shai jumping out of the danger zone there, and that puts El Taco Man on the bubble.
Yeah, it does. Brilliant lap there from Rasin Shai. Very competitive as well. Delivered quite a bit last season too. Marks his return here in the Alpine. Of course, partnering up with teammate Tom, who currently sits now in the top 10 as well. Alpine actually looking pretty strong. Of course, Tom had his own spectacular incidents last season. Of course, with Tom, it was more about, can we finish the race? Was the immortal question for Tom last season. But he did do it a couple of times, which is good to see. But very adept at the F1 game is Tom. We know how good he can be. His teammate Marduk comes across the line 9th fastest. And it's great because naturally all these drivers, while they're not F1 esports drivers, they're competent enough at the game, but they all have their favourite tracks, right? So that anyone could be at the top, which is what delivers great racing. So you have one driver that might be dominating up at the front end. It's not necessarily the case here at the Creator Series. Things do sort of become a mishmash. You get to see the best of certain drivers at certain tracks, and it certainly can deliver. Dirk Chocolate retiring, obviously not enough time to set another lap, remains in 14th fastest. He's certainly not safe, Gareth.
No, that is very much. He's very much at danger. El Taco Man still in the pits as well. He's not going to be able to set another lap in, so he is on the bubble right now. So he is very much at danger. Anyone in this bottom 5 drivers, so the bottom 4, really 16th to 19th position, and they're all out on laps. If they set a time and go faster, then they are out of this qualifying session.
Yeah, well, Maraki now crossing the line himself. 4th fastest from Maraki. And just look at that, the stone-faced reaction, a little shrug. It's okay, he says, up into 4th place. And that'll surely secure his place in the Q2. He'll be absolutely delighted with that, I'm sure, in his own way. But yes, brilliant lap indeed. And met him as well at the Williams Esports Lounge. And we went over to its first public event in February. And really enjoyed that. He dominated that day as well, winning all 3 races. And I knew, and I said I knew that same week he was going to win at Spa. What did he do, Gareth?
Did he go and win? He did go and win, of course he did.
He went and won it. Brilliant it was as well. So it was sensational from Maraki. Now sits in 4th place and obviously thriving off the tips that were handed to him by one Brett Koch as well, who I'm sure is doing his own little dance in the live chat.
Yeah, so going up into 11th position was that Matty, and he's got himself out. Swave doesn't improve, so he's been knocked out. Emphatic, the final car out there, who could put cars under pressure, but Dirk Chocolate's been pushed down. So is Al Tekoman into this bottom lot of drivers. So those will be confirmed going out. Only Emphatic can knock out Safso at the moment. So Safso, who put that early lap in, is actually under big danger. You can see the track evolution at play here.
Well, incredible, because we have got now up at the top end that guy Vince, who is using the number of curbs here tonight. He's just gone fastest of all and has now taken the top time with a 1:28.690, which is superb. Just a message in the chat from I'm going to say Axe Deadly. Why is Matty's name Chocolate? It shouldn't be. It's because he's picked the wrong number. He's picked Dirk Chocolate's number for the Creator Series, and because the timing tower data reads off a text file, it's reading the number he selected. So it's his fault, unfortunately, mate. It's Matty's fault. He picked the wrong number. So there we go. He's picked Dirk's number, which he shouldn't have done. Is Matty 1929 as well? 1929 in the live chat. Big warm welcome to you as well, sir. And hope we'll get to see you very, very soon as well. More and more cars making their way in towards the top end, but naturally it doesn't look like it's going to be a good time for Red Bull here at the moment, Gareth.
Yeah, Emphatic and Dirk both knocked out of qualifying 1 here. So I said Dirk Chocolate's been putting in the hours. I think he's going to have to put in even more hours than that to get out of Q1 in the future. So Red Bull very much on the back foot here, but I'm sure they'll have a thing to do come the race. And at least it gives Dirk Chocolate 40 minutes to enjoy some fine commentary of 2 qualifying sessions. I don't know where you'd find that.
Yeah, where would you find it, indeed? Fastest of all, though, goes to that guy, Vince. Brilliant lap, indeed. Set yourself on top and just over a quarter of a tenth ahead of Bushy Ants. Van Geffen in third, of course, Rutanius in third. Rasin Chai fourth, Meraki fifth. And then you've got Alex Gillen in sixth, Mr. Dale seventh, Hayden Gullis eighth, ninth for Tom. Tiamat Marduk in 10th as well. Bottom 5, Zapso, Dirk Chocolate, Taco Man, Infratic, Swave, and Alex Bud. So, not sure whether there's any major shocks. I think probably the biggest story at this point, Gareth, is the fact that Red Bull have lost both their drivers.
Yeah, also I saw that Safso's name was greyed out at the bottom there, so that usually means that they maybe had a DNF in that session. We'll have to get confirmation straight away as we jump into qualifying 2, but Safso, who set the early pace, is out of Q1 as well.
Last season's champion too, so that's a big shock. Obviously, in terms of the Creator Series. We're going to be moving along now, folks, into our next session, Q2, just around the corner. But we would like to say a big thank you to you guys at home as well for all your amazing support that we've had here for the Creator Series. If you haven't done so already, I want you to leave a follow. That is what the follow button's for. You press it so you can see more. That's exactly what I want you to do. And also, if you want to check me out as well, it's at George Morgan TV on Twitter. Don't forget as well to check out the Creator Series on Twitter at F1 Creator Series. That's on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, you name it. We're everywhere, folks. So do not miss out. Have you got a Twitter name you can share as well, Gareth?
Yes, at Gareth Allen TV. So similar concept to yours.
Well, there you go. At Gareth Allen TV if you want to check out Gareth's channel too, or his Twitter, Instagram, whatever you want to check. And you'll be able to find it. But the car's now heading out for our next session of qualifying Q2, just around the corner, folks. Looking forward to it. Where can you see the major story being this time, Gareth?
I don't know, Tiamat Marduk didn't seem too quick at the start of that session. He did come back into it a little bit, so maybe another McLaren being knocked out. Of course, I think Safso probably went for another lap and, of course, had an incident somewhere and has DNF from the race. Yeah, I certainly see that being a big talking point if 2 of the kind of title championship contenders last time out don't make it into Q3. That could be a big moment for the Creator Series.
Yeah, it could well be. Just seeing now the McLaren make its way through of Tiamat Marduk. We're now only 1 McLaren in qualifying because we got news on Zapso. Crashed out of turn 7 on the curb that spits you out. It certainly does spit you out, folks. If you get it wrong through there, Dirk Chocolate paying the price after a very difficult qualifying session. We might be able to get some words off Dirk, in fact, if he wants to come and join us in the commentary booth. We'll wait and see if he joins us. In fact, we might head across. If Dirk can hear me, Dirk, if you want to come into the commentary box, my friend, and you can come and join me. We can have a chat about what happened in Q1. We'll have to wait and see. But certainly, he's not happy with that start at all, Gareth.
No, not at all. And I think it's a painful one, really, because it's such a kind of scary corner to go in to the first corner from the back of the grid. Maybe he'll be a bit happy he can take it cool and pick up any scraps, because 1, 2 and 3 very much pinch up and can spit cars out. So I think he would have been wanting to start a lot further up with the pace that he's put in and the practice he's put in, but he is knocked out of Q1. Emphatic beforehand was also massively complaining about the traction. He was asking, where is the traction? Yeah. And I think GB replied, in the gravel trap if you want it, but it certainly hasn't helped him, that advice.
Well, I think they're all looking for it. That's what they're all looking for, the traction. All of them are. Tiamat Marduk also will be looking for it. Now making his way around on his fast lap here in Q2. And down in towards the next right-hander. Of course, 11 minutes and 40 seconds still to go. As the cars then make their way out of turn 8, down through towards turn 9 and turn 10 very shortly. DRS will open up heading through this next section. Of course, Tiamat Marduk, fresh from a win last season at Silverstone. Didn't manage to go back-to-back, but an incredible result to say the least. One of the most dramatic runs we have seen, and it's been a sensation, as now we see Mr. Dale take the opening time of the Q2 session, 129.428. Bushy Ants now following him. not necessarily a representative time, but intermediate Bushians in this session. Rasin Chai doing the same, as we're now seeing Alex Gillen go second fastest within 0.04 of a second as well. Got Curbs now up to third, who is showing all sorts of pace now as well in Q2. GB68 immediately takes that away. And now we're also seeing that guy Vince in third fastest. Tiamat Marduk second fastest here at this point. Currently sits a 1:29.434.
Yeah, so putting in the time, Tiamat Marduk, he's I particularly maybe going out, but actually he's found a bit more pace between Q1 and Q2, so maybe a tweak on the front wing for him to give him a bit more grip in certain low-speed corners. But yeah, Tiamat Marduk up into third position. Meraki now up top of the timing screens. He's gone into first position in Q2, and that's a 1:29.231. That's 0.2 faster than the nearest car to set a time. Only 3 cars yet to set a time in this session.
Yeah, brilliant to see Meraki now up into P1 at 1:29.231. And Mr. Dale in second now, out to nearly 0.2 of a second. Tiamat Marduk down in third. It's just over 0.2. As now Tom goes fastest of all as well. Brilliant display from Tom. Immediately takes top spot, and you'll be pleased with that. That's how you start, folks. Certainly the Alpine. Tell you what, an unfound territory here, Gareth Allen, sitting in first place. Tom's had his leader picks this morning.
But he's doing the kind of Alonso move of maybe getting into the top places until the final session when it matters. Who knows? Maybe he'll have a bit more luck. But Tom actually took the fastest sector of all in the first sector and in the second sector, sorry. And so yeah, that's where he's found time in this tricky part. But of course, you do have the straight between turn 10 and 11 here, so that's where he's found his time. And yeah, maybe a high downforce setup for him if that is where he is fastest.
Yeah, no, super job from Tom. And now sits at the top of the timing screen. I will imagine that we'll have more and more times coming through, but that's certainly a good major moment there for Alpine, as we've got many other cars making their way through. We've got the return of It's Ilky Milky as well out on track, and makes his way through the middle sector as well, heading down in towards the next right out of turn 8. This, of course, being the place where it all went wrong for Zafso, where he got spat out heading out of turn 8. Obviously on that curb that can then send you over to the opposite side of the circuit into the concrete, well, should I say the steel barriers here at Bahrain. As now It's Ilky Milky makes his way down through towards turn 12 out of turn 11 as well. DRS opens up, but not for this man. He's opted not to use it. And we'll certainly wait and see as to whether he can lift himself higher and higher in this timing screen. More and more cars out and about as well. Another car that's also making its way around the track, Hayden Gullis, who currently sits in 14th and out on his outlap. And a little bit of pressure here, Gareth, especially given the fact that if you haven't set an early banker, many of these cars obviously have already set bankers. Hayden Gullis leaving it a little bit later. He's got 2 runs in him, but naturally, with that reducement in time, that lesser time, it does mean that you have to essentially pull off a clutch finish here in Q2.
Yeah, really, as you say, it puts the pressure on. I mean, he does have 2 runs, so if he does make a mistake on this run, he'll probably have time for another run. He could even maybe do an extra lap in his first run and still get out for a second one with a fresh set of tyres. But Hayden will want to set a decent time, but it does maybe mean that you're not setting the best pace you can do, because you're maybe not leaving it all out on the line, because you know that you don't want to disqualify your lap or even bin it, because yeah, he needs to get a time onto the board, and if he doesn't do this time, he'll have to leave it all up to those final moments, and that's when the pressure really builds on the driver. Yeah,
absolutely right indeed, as we're now watching Gullis make his way down through towards turn 1 out of turn 2, and looking pretty smart right now. Obviously currently sits in 14th place, and now down through towards turn 4, and eventually he'll make his way through the very roller coaster style lefts and rights, down through towards turn 8 as well. Now Mercedes currently sit with both cars in the bottom 5. Of course, if it stays like this, it means we're going to say goodbye to Bushians and Hayden Gullis. But it's important to note that Bushians, I believe, set his time that we're currently seeing on intermediate tyres there.
Yeah, so he is someone who will have a big jump in pace, certainly a quick driver, actually going through turn 1 at the moment and having a bit of a hass in the way, so that may slow down his first sector time a little bit, but Bushy Ants is pushing through the lap here, and we'll see a more representative time, so we'll see what he can do. Hayden Gullis coming towards the end of the lap here too.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Purple in the middle sector for Hayden Gullis. So this could be a big moment for him. Let's go and check out and see what's going on with the man as he makes his way down through towards the final 2 corners. Of course, very important to land an early blow here. Of course, they say early blow. We've still got 5 minutes left after this. There's Hayden Gullis himself. Makes his way down towards the line. Fastest here in this session, and his reaction says it all. The Giraffe is on top. 5 minutes and 30 still to go. Hayden Gullis, P1 here for Mercedes.
Yeah, what pressure, no pressure, but his teammate out there at the moment, quickest through the first sector. He's coming to the second sector split now, and he goes quick again, so Bushy Ants could also make it a good day for Mercedes. Alex Gillen has jumped up into the top spot in this session, and that has knocked Hayden Gillis just a little bit down, but I'm sure they'll be all out for more runs because the times are getting faster. Tiamat Marduk also goes ahead of Hayden here.
Yeah, he does, and it's all coming through now. Mercedes now back to their best. Bushy Ants up to the top. Mr. Dale comes across the line and goes third fastest as well. Up comes GB68 for Aston Martin. A brilliant lap for him too. He'll be thrilled with that. Third place. Aston Martin occupying third and fourth. Very, as we're seeing it, very Fernando Alonso, and also, not to mention Lance Stroll-esque. Only difference is none of them have a broken wrist.
No, thankfully they don't. But a collision here. Of course, a lot of them use direct drives. Very easy to injure yourself on them. I'm not wishing an injury on any of our drivers, just to confirm with that one. Tiamat Marduk putting in a fast time. He was fastest through the final sector, so finding a lot of time on the straights. And that is going to be good for him come race day, because it means he'll be slippery down the straights and quicker. And that's, of course, where you make the majority of your overtakes.
Yeah, it is indeed. Very, very good start, of course. But we've got the final few minutes to go. Now, this is when things start to heat up. Plenty of cars, obviously looking to try and improve on their original laps. Rasin Chai being one of them. He's currently sitting in the bottom 5. And should it remain like this, or should I say bottom 4, of course, they only need to get at least 4 places. If you're Routanius right now, you've yet to set a time. But incidentally, he's making his way down through towards the final couple of corners as well. Out of turn 13 and 14 and 15. Out comes Routanius. Yeah, he's looking pretty strong right now. Could be enough for third. It is enough for third place, in fact. 28.480. And just pops himself just behind Alex Gillen, within the same 1/10 of a second of Alex Gillen as well. So that's a pacey lap. Alex Gillen felt that he could retire, so I'm guessing Routanius can do the same.
Yeah, and it needed to be a good lap, because I don't think he would have got in again if he made any mistake on that. So the pressure was absolutely on, and I'm sure blowing a quick tune on his flute as he crossed the line there.
Yeah, certainly will be. And many other cars now will be looking to improve as well. Tom is out on an outlap. We've got what looks to be the Hasses as well. Of course, that's not GB68, just to say, folks. That is one of the other Haas cars. Of course, we've got It's Ilky Milky in the other one. Of course, Haas being occupied. None other. Just remind us there who is in P9.
It's Matty D13.
Matty
is in
D13.
P9.
Yes, that's another man who is going to get a suspension.
A scolding.
A scolding to say the least. It has to be said. That guy Vince and Matty D13, they've made the list, folks. I'm telling you. Making his way now.
What's interesting, if I just cut over, is how early the cars have gone from that bottom lot. They're not leaving it till the absolute final minutes in qualifying. And it's interesting. They're all out there on laps at the moment, and this will be their final runs.
Yeah, it will be. 2 minutes to go as well. And it's P10 for Matty D13 as well. So a great lap indeed for him. And he'll enjoy that. Certainly that'll be enough for Q3. So now seeing the AlphaTauri of that guy Vince going 6th fastest here at this point. Brilliant, to say the least. Great lap from him, obviously managing to pull off a wonderful Q1 session too. Not quite enough for P1, but as long as you're in the top 10, you're going through to Q3. So he'll be thrilled with that. And I'm sure he'll be back for more later on as well. More and more cars making their way through. Meraki is also out on the lap as well. Or he was, I believe he's on a cool-down run right now. And, other cars still out and about on track, including this man, Tom, who was P1 for a short period of time. And, Alpine currently with one car in the top 10. Rasin Chai, the other one, currently sits in P14, and he's running out of time here. He can't afford to stay there. And as the time starts to slip away from him, so does his chances of getting into Q3 here. And oh, very, very big mistake heading in to the final points of this track as well. Heading out of turn 13, got it all wrong. A little bit of oversteer, and it shot him out of the corner. He's now heading through the final two corners here at Bahrain. Rasin Chai opens up the DRS. Is it enough for safety? It's not. 12th fastest, and I tell you what, 30 seconds still to go. Is he out at this point, Gareth?
I think so. He's going to have to go for another run, but consequentially, I don't know if you noticed this, it only rains for 10 days a year in Bahrain, but this is one of the days. It's actually raining out there on track at the moment. A 70% chance of rain, and it is raining.
Well, I tell you what, can you imagine? Here at Bahrain, of all places, raining at Bahrain, folks. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought that, hey? I tell you what, none of us would have expected it. The sandy circuit of Bahrain, and we have got wet weather. How dramatic is this?
Yeah, I actually got a little bit of statistics for that because I wanted to mention how little it rains here. There's just 2.8 inches of rain here every year, but when the Creator Series is on, that is when the rain comes out. Of course, we run realistic weather in the sense that we run what the weather is in real life at the moment. So clearly, a few rain clouds around the circuit tonight.
Realistic weather? Are you sure, Gareth Allen? Are you sure that it's realistic weather?
I looked at the forecast yesterday and it said about 20% chance of rain in the evening.
Goodness
I thought
me.
no one's going to apply that one, surely. And it's kind of one of those ones where, like, it's like if you look at the forecast at Singapore, at any point it says thunderstorms. So
Yeah.
I thought maybe it would get ignored, but it does rain on the island of Bahrain 10 days a year, as I said, and this is just one of those moments.
Oh, that's incredible. I have to tell you, folks, who'd have thought? Who'd have thought that, folks? Raining at Bahrain. Well, we've seen it all.
I think Tom is very lucky though, because on his lap he was. This was before the rain started. He was 5 tenths down through the first sector, so a big mistake through the first sector, and he only recovered 4 tenths in the second sector. So I think the rain came out at just the perfect time, because of course the other cars in the bottom 5, of course Safso DNFing in Q1, couldn't improve because of the track conditions. So I think Tom is a lucky boy there.
Well, I think he is. But the car's now bailing into the pit lane, and essentially it's all over, folks. It's all over at this point. All of them are in, and the rain has just crucified Q2 at this point. So we're not going to be seeing any more action out on track at this rate. We've already had the faster times, and if it stays like this, Bushy Ants is going through to the next session of quali alongside Alex Gillen as well, who went second fastest in that session as well, just over 2 tenths of a second. Meraki P3 as well. Rutanius, of course, in P4 after moving from Ferrari to Alfa Romeo. Seems to have found his old pace again. GB68 5th fastest, also got curbs as well. In fact, folks, session's over. The time's out. Of course, there you can see the results there. Bushy Ants fastest. Alex Gillen, Meraki, Van Geffen as well, who's Rutanius. GB68, that guy Vince in 6th. Mr. Dale in 7th as well. Teammate Marduk 8th, as well as Hayden Gullis in 9th. Tom in P10. They're going through to Q3. Matty D13 TTV in 11th. He is going to be saying goodbye here for this moment in time. Rasin Chai in 12th. Curbs in 13th. 14th for Itzilki. And that is your order, folks, and they will not be joining us in the next session of qualifying. The drama continues here at this point, Gareth Allen. An incredible series of sessions. Mercedes looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, certainly looking good, but I wonder how much people had put practice into a wet Bahrain qualifying session. I think that's what the conditions will be for Q3. Maybe it will get drier towards the end, but absolutely, it's going to be a bit of a crazy session here. Of course, already low traction. People struggle with grip around here, and the conditions are really poor out on track. We'll have to see if they're going to get better or worse.
Well, let me just show you, folks. You guys ready to see the weather of Bahrain right now? This is what we're seeing. I can't believe they're going out in this. Pack your umbrella. That's all I'll say. Pack your umbrella it is tipping down here in Bahrain, and Sakhir has never looked so wet. Cars are leaving the pit lane. I believe wet tyres, no, intermediate tyres are on the car, so it's not as bad as to require wet tyres, but all the cars going out in intermediates. So that's the story of the session so far. Would you dare take a car out on a wet Bahrain track?
I mean, if it's going to get worse, then you have to go out there, right, and set a time, because it becomes harder and harder to set a fast lap time, and we see this in qualifying sessions. These could be our pole position runs here straight out of the gate, so it's so important for our drivers to perform well. Of course, if it gets dry, and you expect it not to rain for too long here, of course, I feel like there's more than 2.8 inches of rain out on circuit right now, so I feel like they've had their yearly dose just in what we're seeing on screen at the moment. But I fear that it could be a very quick qualifying session in the fact that people will not improve their times after their first runs.
Well, if you guys want to see the weather conditions for this session, you can see that, I'll tell you what, it's pretty conclusive here at this point. Current conditions, wet right through. There you see it, light rain throughout the session. So we're not going to be seeing slick tyres at all. The tyres are going to be slick in the sense that they're going to be wet and slippery, but we're not going to be seeing fast tyres. Certainly no soft tyres in this session, that's for sure. So intermediates all round here at this point. The big question is, who is going to take pole position here in this session? I want to hear from you in the live chat, folks. Let us know, what's it going to be? Who's going to be on pole? There are your names up in the top left-hand corner. Tiermet Marduk, Rutanius, Meraki, Hayden Gullis, GB68. We've also got Alex Gillen as well, Mr. Dale, Bushy Ants, as well as Tom. And we've got another Bushy Ants as well, which is not Bushy Ants because it is Dat Guyvins.
Yeah, I'm sure his name has changed throughout this session.
It has changed. He keeps changing his number.
To the wrong one.
To the wrong one, yeah.
You can write him on the list twice for that one, I think.
That's 2 strikes.
The real Bushy Ants is coming through the first set of corners at the moment, and really sketchy on traction. And it's going to be interesting to see these times come in and what kind of circuits look like. I don't think I've ever done a lap around here in the rain. So it is very unusual conditions for our drivers, famously in a desert. So it is going to be super treacherous, super tricky, and almost just gingerly edging it through the right-left rights of 5, 6 and 7 and out of 8. Of course, Sasso had a big mistake here in dry conditions, and he's really tentative on the throttle. Now turn 10, that is a whole different kettle of fish in this set, in this weather.
I don't think I could call it a desert anymore, to be honest with you. It's simply not, Gareth. But never mind. We will be seeing the drivers make their way through on intermediate tyres anyway. Never thought I'd see the day intermediate tyres at Bahrain, honestly. Bushy Ants now heading through the latter point on this lap. Obviously looking to try and take the early blows here in Q3, but only green in the first sector. He has had the purple taken away from him as they make their way down through towards the final 2 corners on this lap. They're going to be coming across thick and fast. Of course, Bushy Ants, one of the quicker drivers in our last session in Q2. Now seeing him make his way up towards the line. Where's the Silver Arrow is going to park itself here in the opening stages of Q3. Big moment for the Alpine in behind as well. Bushy Ants to the top with a 139. Tom immediately takes it, even after the mistake. Rutanius second fastest. We've got now Bushy Ants in the Mercedes. Third fastest is Hayden Gullis' teammate goes 5th because Tiermet Marduk hits the front, hits the top. Alex Gillen, his rival, hits the top now as well. Goes nearly 2 tenths quicker than Tiermet Marduk. Enough for first place. An early blow for Alex Gillen.
Yeah, quickest through the first and second sectors. Tiermet Marduk did respond through the final sector, taking a 10th out of him, but 2 tenths is a magic gap in these conditions, and as I said earlier, these could be the absolutely pivotal laps of qualifying here, because it could get worse from here. Hopefully the track does improve a little bit and we have further runs later on, but that could be provisional pole for Alex Gillen. Only 3 drivers out there yet to set a time, Meraki being one of those, and he is looking good, but no purples out there. Actually, the only purple I do see is from Mr. Dale. That's a second quicker, so I think he has invalidated his lap, so he'll have to be running again, and he is in fact actually going for another lap here.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see what Meraki can set. Obviously, green in the opening 2 sectors, comes across the line 3rd fastest. Good lap there from Meraki. And you've got to start somewhere. Start as you mean to go on. Incidentally, did I just see that correctly? Meraki fastest in the third sector. So I tell you what, he is not playing around. Brett Koch, the manager of Williams esports team, helping out Meraki. I think that help is paying off, you know.
Yeah, certainly. Top three, right behind Alex Gilling and Tia McMardock. We've seen how quick those two drivers are, and I don't know if Brett Koch has actually prepped Meraki for wet conditions around here, or this is just pure driver skill coming out to be second row on the grid.
Mr. Dale!
As things stand.
Goodness me! Now we've seen a lot of this. Last season we saw it at the start of each race. Ploughing out, heading out of turn, and I spoke about turn 12 into turn 13. Mr. Dale crunching it into the tyre barrier. Very, very fast pace up through that section. It can unsettle you even on dry tyres. That corner is vicious, and a huge crash and yellow flags into sector 2, and Mr. Dale is out of qualifying here in Q3, so he will start at best P10 in this session. Already now cars completing their first laps. 5 minutes and 30 into the session. Tim McMardock remains second fastest, going out on his next lap as well. Meraki third. No time set for Mr. Dale. He will start P10.
Yeah, I wonder if Tim McMulloch's has just stayed out on the track here. I've not actually seen him come back into the pit, so I wonder if he's just gone for a cool down and up lap, in which case he'll have a lot less fuel in his car this time around. Tim McMardock currently running in second position, coming through the first sector now. We'll see if his first sector split is any good and if it's an improvement. And actually 5 tenths down on his fastest time. So I don't think the track conditions are improving here. Mr. Dale, really consequential that he didn't get that first lap in, made a mistake, because on the second lap, he binned it into the wall. And as you said, starting in 10th position, that's not great for Aston Martin, because the other driver for Aston Martin, GP68, did make it through to Q3, but only good enough for 8th. Did pip Hayden Gullis with a second stab at the cherry.
Which is quite big for him, because it means that he will qualify above his teammate, should it stay like this from last season. So Hayden Gullis back out on an outlap and looking to try and improve from that 9th fastest. Just watching now, Tim McMardock spinning as well. Ben Daly having a spin in exactly the same corner where Mr. Dale lost it earlier on. That's going to be a prominent factor, I think, in this session. That particular corner in wet weather, it just seems to me like a recipe for chaos right now, Gareth.
Yeah, it is just really tricky conditions, and you start to get towards the end of the second sector, and maybe you're chasing the lap time a little bit over zealous with the throttle, and yeah, very easy to spin it out in dry conditions there. Super easy in the wet conditions, so very treacherous, very difficult. And Tia McMardock wasn't on a quick lap anyway, it has to be said, but he is going for another one at the moment, so he is going over the start-finish straight, not opting for a new pair of tyres here and looking to just find the time on the lap, but I just don't think he's going to find it. 5 tenths he was off in the first sector, and that's a lot of time for just one set of small corners, of course, that being the low traction zone of 1, 2 and 3 anyway. So yeah, if it gets more slippery down there, then you know about it, and the time comes off your lap. He goes through the first sector again, and he's only 2 tenths slower this time, so maybe a chance at an improvement.
Could well be. Of course, performed in the middle sector on his very fast lap. No one is faster than him in sector 2, but needs to extract more out of sector 1, and I get the feeling that new tyres might be in the offing. Rutanius has immediately trumped him for second place, and has now brought that gap down to just over 1.5 tenths between him and Alex Gillen now. So Rutanius, a solid position now in second. Meraki, who still remains in 4th as well, he makes his way through this next right too, and is about to, in fact, take the final 2 corners before commencing a fast run. Just see him weaving on the straights, just looking to try and install more heat into the car as well. Tim McMardock, he's about to head down towards the final couple of corners too. Do wonder whether, well, he's going to have to finish on these tyres. I can't see him coming in for another set to go out again here, because time is running short, Gareth.
Yeah, no way is he getting in and out here. So he's gone for the confidence approach of racing in the rain here. Just stick a load of fuel in it, watch it come, hope the lap times come down, and the other does right time. but he does go up to P1 here, so that will be his final lap time, I think, because he's running out of fuel. He's low on EOS, and I don't think he'll be able to charge it, but that is up into provisional pole here. So just as I was writing him off, maybe the track conditions are going to come towards our drivers. That means we could see a dramatic fall in lap time here. All of our drivers out there on track at the moment.
Well, it did look like the most comfortable of laps. Bushy Ants coming across into 5th place as well for Mercedes. Got more and more cars making their way around as well, including Hayden Gullis, who's whipping around turn 12 and coming up towards turn 13 as well. Turn 14 up next, and turn 15 too. Green in the first 2 sectors, so this will be an improvement for Hayden Gullis. He's got an Alfa Romeo just ahead of him as well. That, of course, being Routanius, who went faster earlier on his lap. Did briefly usurp Tim at Marduk, who has taken P1 off everybody. Here comes now Hayden Gullis, and he goes 6th fastest ahead of Tom in the Alpine, who's now P7. GB68 retired in P9 as well.
Yeah, so obviously they didn't feel like they could improve. Tom out there at the moment, he's not improved through the first and second sectors, but we saw a big jump in the final sector from Tiamat Marduk. Obviously he felt like he made a mistake on that initial lap that he had, but Tom is going to cross the line now, and it will be his second to final lap. Will it be? It goes up into 6th position as Tom, so it is a slight improvement overall on his time, but only good enough for 6th at the moment. He'll have one more lap here, and yeah, I think he will have the EOS charge for it too. Alex Gillen also out there on the lap at the moment, and I think he's just starting his lap, sorry.
Yeah, Alex Gillen out on a lap only. He's just within half a tenth as well. Nearly 500ths of a second. 47 thousandths if you want to talk exact numbers. As Tom currently sits in P6. No doubt happy with that. You just see him there, just so focused as he makes his way around turn 8. It's actually a good session from Tom, because of course he had his bugbears last season. Of course, generally he qualified pretty smartly. It was just what he did during the race that was the issue. I'll never forget, I think it was Silverstone where he crashed out. Tends to position the cars well in quali, but it's the race that tends to catch up with him, Gareth.
Yeah, and one thing he's going to find tricky this week is that he's actually on a new wheels. So he's learning his new wheel. He's been practicing a lot, saying, I'm not sweating, I'm just trying to learn my new wheel. And yeah, you really want to be at one with your rig. And it being new, he may make a mistake or two in the race. We'll have to see. But yeah, he's already prone to it. But yeah, that is one thing to note with Tom. But certainly doing well out there and currently running in 6th position. I think he won't be going over the line at the moment. Also going quick out there is that guy Vince. He is in 8th position and improving on his time. And Alex Gillen also 0.2 of a lap quicker than his best.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom now coming across the line again, and that will complete his session, no doubt. Checkered flag has come down. Alex Gillen, who's currently still out on track. Now remember, this was the Mal Meraki now going up to P1. Pole position here for Meraki for now is Alex Gillen, 2nd fastest. But not enough to usurp that of Meraki. A wonderful lap from him. A smile, no doubt, on his face. And that decides it, folks. That is certainly the situation. Meraki is on pole for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Takes first fastest, and there is the reaction, the smile on his face. He is absolutely thrilled with that. Alex Gillen 2nd fastest, Tiamat Marduk in 3rd as well. We have got Van Geffen, of course, Routanius 4th, Bushy Ants in 5th, Tom in 6th, that guy Vince in 7th, Hayden Gullis in 8th, GB68 in 9th, and Mr. Dale lines up in P10. What do you make of that, Gareth?
It obviously shows the importance of being involved with a strong esports organisation such as Williams. And yeah, he's been practicing for it. But I think that is down to driver skill in those tricky wet conditions. I don't think anyone was practicing for it. Anyone was thinking about it. Maybe Dirk was, because he knows a bit about the weather. But he didn't make it through to this session. And absolutely, Meraki on pole position. A true show of skill from him. Can he go on and win a race? What do you think, George?
It's possible. I mean, Meraki did it at Spa. He can do it anywhere. We're going to take a quick break, though, folks, and we will be back very, very shortly. Hello, folks. Welcome back. We're just about to get into racing action as well, folks. Seconds just ticking downwards as time rolls on. Of course, we just witnessed a wonderful qualifying session. Meraki taking P1 in that final session of qualifying. A wonderful start to his season. And one can wonder, I mean, he tends to be pretty good in the wet. And obviously, Spa can be pretty treacherous when it comes to conditions such as this. Could this be his day again? Yeah, Gareth.
Well, we do have dry conditions at the start of this race. So, yeah, he maybe didn't top any of the timesheets at the start in any of the Q1 and Q2 where we had those dry conditions, but in Q3 he showed his prowess and starts in pole position. He has Alex Gillen alongside. He's looked mighty quick throughout. Tia McMurdoch only just behind in third position. I think it's going to be a really feisty fight for the first few laps at least. Let's see how this one settles down.
Yeah, and obviously now they're taking to the formation lap. There is, of course, Meraki starting first, still in first. Obviously, we're still in formation lap conditions, of course. But how important is it to get off to a good start? Because we all know at Bahrain, turn one can be pretty hazardous. You can almost take a chance heading through that point because you always get one driver who's perhaps late on the brakes heading through towards turn one. Remember, it's slightly over 90 degrees, and then you cut back with yourself in towards turn two. If you haven't got your traction right or the grip levels are wrong, you're in huge danger of losing the car.
Yeah, it's a real pinch point through 1, 2 and 3, and so easy to not really understand where the other cars are. So those cars on the front, at the front of the grid, do not want to be falling backwards because then you feel like you're on the back foot, and cars from behind will start to think, oh, I can go forwards here, and then get into a pickle through 1, 2 and 3. And yeah, we could see incident all the way down to turn 4, of course, and towards turns 5 and 6. We saw some crashes there today in the F3 race.
Yeah, we certainly did, and the tyre splits are pretty solid here. We can see as well. Top 4 all on mediums. Tom opting for that early soft stint. We've also got that guy Vince going for the hard tyres. Hayden Gullis opting for the medium. GB68 opting for the medium. Rutanius going for the hard tyres. Mr. Dale, he's going for the softs. We have got also Matty D13. He's back to being Dirk Chocolate now. He's opted for the medium tyre. Also got Racing Chai, who's on mediums. Curbs is on mediums as well. We've got Silky Milky on mediums. Zafso on softs. Dirk Chocolate's gone for softs as well. We've got El Taco Man on the hards. Infratic on medium. Swales on medium. Alex Budd on medium. Medium obviously seems to be the optimal strategy for many of the drivers here, Gareth. Would you say they're right to go for that, or is there people in the bottom 10 you would advise going on to an alternate strap?
I mean, hards are going to be, it's slow traction here. We've said it so many times before, and those hards at the start of the race will feel like driving on ice blocks as we see the 360 spins come out in play today. And Tim McMurdoch doing more than 360, he's doing an Xbox 720 out there. So, yeah, absolutely, the hard tyre, probably not the right choice, so we do see that medium tyre being picked.
Yeah, we certainly do. The car's now ready and raring to go, lined up for the start of this Bahrain Grand Prix here, folks. We're looking forward to this. We hope you guys are too, as here come the lights. All 5 lights are lit, and it's pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 go. A brilliant start indeed for Meraki. Alex Gillen as well getting away well too as they make their way down through towards turn 1. In droves they go as they make their way through. We haven't got a change of camera angle, but there's a cluster up at the top end as Meraki and Alex Gillen come together out of turn 3, down through towards turn 4. Tim Marnock up into third with Tom in behind him too. There's a huge battle brewing at turn 4 now. Oh my goodness me, late on the brakes by the Aston Martin and Mr. Dale. Tom fights him off as they head through the S section through turns 5, 6 and 7. It's Meraki in front though. Further back, Gillen, Tim Marnock in third, Tom in 4th place.
Dafso's also had a mega start going up 6 positions, and he was battling all the way into turn 5 there and turn 6, and he's looking for a further move at Hayden Gillis, trying to go up the inside at Hayden Gillis at turn 10, but there's contact between the two, and that leaves contact all the way further down the field, and I think Dirk Chocolates wasn't in the session, so he's been disconnected, so he's coming back, but there's huge contact at the back there.
Yeah, massive contact. It all seemed to be caused, I'm not sure whether it was Hayden Gullis who was in that. It certainly looks like his helmet. Big moment indeed. And as a result now sees himself towards the back of the field. Big drama already at the start of this Bahrain Grand Prix. None of us had fathomed it. And Fratic now in behind him in P11. Further back then, Dirk Chocolate who is in 13th. Of course, above him is Matty D, 13 as well. But all the drivers now completing lap 1. Meraki already taking the fastest lap of the race from the get-go. And here comes Alex Gillen straight away, looking to take P1 away from the man who took pole in Q3. The Ferrari now hits the front, a nose in front, a full car in front. And now Tom looking to come in and join in the fun as well.
Yeah, Tom, who's just got by Tiamat Marduk on that last lap on those soft tyres, looking to get by Meraki into turn 5. He does so. It's cleanly done. Tiamat Marduk will maybe see that Meraki's on the back foot here and want to go for a move, but he's going to be too far back into the S section. And it is up to second position for Tom. He's on those soft tyres. Those will be good for the next 2 or 3 laps. So he'll want to go and put pressure on Alex Gillen, our race leader here, who leads in the Creator Series once again.
It certainly does indeed. There's the live timing, folks, for those of you who've just joined us. If you've just joined us, where have you been? Goodness me, the drama has kicked off here. We're only on lap 2 of 57. Tell you what, it's all happening, folks. 57 laps in total in this Bahrain Grand Prix. Gillen leads, Tom in second, Meraki in third. Coming under a little bit of pressure now from Tiamat Marduk. That's, we allude to it, folks. There are drivers out there who can carry 1 lap pace, but then over a race distance, when you consider race trim, it's a whole different kettle of fish. We speak about it, especially when you've got 57 laps on the table here, Gareth. You want to be consistent.
Yeah, you really, really do want to be consistent. 100% races are special in that fact because it is all about perseverance and keeping it consistent while Dale runs really wide out of turn 15 here. But Tiamat Marduk now closing down on Meraki, both of these on similar tyres at this stage. So I wonder how much fuel Tiamat Marduk has started with, and maybe he's run it really down because I wouldn't expect him to make such an easy move on Meraki up to third position, or back up to third position, I should say, because of course he started up in that position to begin with.
Yep, 5-second time penalty being added to the time of it, Silky Milky. So that's a big shame for him. Tiamat Marduk up into third ahead of Meraki now. A tremendous start for him as well. Goes hunting after Tom in the Alpine. Now currently second away as we now look at the intervals. Further back as well, the cars all bunched up together. Bushy Ants having a good start too, currently sits in P6. We've also got the 2 Hasses coming together too. It looks to be actually that one of them's in the pit lane. It's Silky Milky already out of pit exit. Quite a few cars already falling off to the back end of the field. Of course, El Taco Man on debut, currently sitting in P17. Alex Budd, GB68, and Swales as well, who's currently down, or Swaves in P20. So quite a few names down the bottom end. A few shockers at the start here, Gareth.
Yeah, I mean, 5 cars pitted on the opening lap after collisions and incident, all for front wing repairs. The Haas is having a nightmare, down in 15th and 16th position. Matty D, 1-3, not having a great day on his debut in this league. Neither is an El Taco Man. But yeah, that is problematic for them. Actually, in the top 10, it's all people who have raced before. So certainly not great from the Creator Series debutants today. All a bit of nerves, I think, at the race start there, cost them places.
Yeah, well, another fastest lap going to Alex Gillen. He's having a wonderful start to this Bahrain race. Of course, you want to start great, but you need to carry on great as well. So now seeing the Alpine again getting very close to the back end of Hayden Gullis this time. Rasin Chai looking to promote himself up again, heading out of turn 3. Now down through towards turn 4. And, you can now see DRS opening up again for the Alpine. Not enough, though, to get close enough to marshal a move on Gullis. But they'll now stay together, nose to tail through the rights and then the lefts as well. Tom now has got close again to the front set, well, to Alex Gillen's Ferrari. He currently holds on to the lead. That gap, though, has come down quite extensively. Heading down this next straight. Gap now out to just over 0.5 of a second as they head down in towards this next left. Just missing the apex slightly there is Tom. So they head up now through the next left at turn 12. 13 is up next. Gillen, though, with a very confident start here. It's all a case, really, of car management here at this point, Gareth. And if he can carry on the way he's going, he should be in fine stead for the rest of the race.
Well, he'll be looking back to the gap to Tiamat Marduk because, of course, Tom has these soft tyres. If he gets by, it won't be the end of the world because he will have to come off them very, very soon. And Tom will be out there looking to get the move done very soon. 4 tenths is the gap as they run down to Q1, and he is actually coming quite quickly. A bit of ERS burn, and I think he's going to go for a move up into turn 1, and it could be done before it's all over. And Alex Gillen will probably look to fight back here because he will have the DRS to fight back into turn 5, but he doesn't want to get embroiled in too much of a battle because that will cost him absolute lap time, and it does actually feed him back into the clutches of his friend and rival Tiamat Marduk, of course, both starting a career again. There was a mad bait and switch from Tiamat Marduk saying it was a new driver. Turned out it was Alex Gillen.
Yeah, well, just to say, I mean, Tom currently leads, but bear in mind he's on that soft tyre strategy. Now they can only take you so far at this point. I mean, when are we thinking that they'll box those softs? Around lap 16, do you think?
Yeah, I think somewhere around lap 12, anywhere around lap 12 onwards, that's when I expect those tyres to go off. Maybe they'd run a little bit deep, hoping for a safety car. And I think quite a few people said today they expect safety cars to be happening just because of how difficult they find the circuit. Of course, we saw crashes in qualifying, namely Safso crashing at turn 8, and possibly that could happen in the race. So they'll be looking for a safety car, and I bet a few cars out there have maybe run quite low on fuel because they expect a safety car or two. But Tom will be wanting one pretty soon, maybe in the next 5 or so laps, because he is pulling a little bit of gap from Alex Gillen. But Alex Gillen will have DRS on the straightaways here. Yeah,
well, the gap now out to 1.1, but we'll just wait and see whether that DRS does open up for him as they head down the straight. Certainly looks like he's within DRS at least for now, and yes, fastest lap for Tom. Alex Gillen though does have that DRS, so now make their way still in towards turn 1, the Alpine. So holding on to that top placement. Tiamat Marduk now dropping back steadily. Bushy Ants though, who's now coming together here with Meriki, and being touched in the rear as well by Mr. Dale as they come together out of turn 3 as well. Down through towards turn 4. Not enough to upset him, I don't think, but some drama further back. Yellow flags in sector 1 here, Gareth.
Yeah, Dale has made contact with the back of Bushy Ants, and that sent him into a half spin. He was absolutely sliding around trying to get back on the traction. I think maybe overheating the soft tyres that he started on, and Hayden Gillis is going to try and get through. They're going to go too wide into turn 5, and Hayden Gillis does win that one out. Mr. Dale, battling for 5th position just moments ago, falls down out of the points here on lap 6.
Yeah, started 10th, now 11th place. Mr. Dale in a shaky moment heading out of turn 8 as well. Oh, he's been here before, Mr. Dale, where things can go wrong. Incredible. Oh, he spun it! Oh, well, if there's ever an appropriate time, a commentator's curse for Mr. Dale. Spins it heading out of turn 10. And that is certainly not what you want, those tyres, the soft tyres as well of all compounds, to spin them like that, to give off flat spots, not to mention excessive tyre wear. Not only does that cripple your race, but also cripples your strategy as well.
Yeah, he's going to have to nurse those all the way around, bring those temperatures back down, and maybe he'll even think about a safety pit here, switching off of those soft tyres, as you said, spinning them up, getting heat into them. It's so hard to discharge heat when you've overheated this soft tyre compound, and I wonder if he'll peel into the pits here and try to switch on to a more reliable compound.
I think you're right.
7 it is, and he looks to be peeling into the pits. I think that is the right move for him, because otherwise he could risk another spin. It was 2 spins in 1 lap there.
Yeah, brutal indeed. Tell you what, Routanius getting very close as well to Zafso. They are actually battling. Routanius now up into 7th, and Zafso, who also started on the soft tyres. Now, surely it can't be the case that they're going off already, and the hard tyres are coming into their own.
They will be going off now, certainly. I mean, Alex Gillen has maintained pace with Tom up ahead. It depends about how well you've managed your tyre temps, really. And Safso, certainly looking to go a bit backwards here on those softs. It could be that this high degradation circuit is causing problems for our drivers in the air. Of course, the Stoner, this circuit, shipped him from Macquarie in Shropshire.
Yeah, it is. And if you remember, George Russell, who spoke about the surface on broadcast earlier today, said that it was very, very intense, hard compound concrete that is a little wider than what you'd necessarily see on other tracks like Jeddah, which can absolutely destroy compounds of tyres. Actually accused it of being Welsh granite, which it certainly isn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Ted Kravitz actually turned around and proved him wrong and said, no, it comes from Shropshire. So I'd like to say a big thank you to Ted Kravitz for defending the honour of us good, decent Welsh people. Big thank you to you, sir, as we're now seeing the cars make their way down the straight. We've got Routanius now making his way down through towards turn 1 with the DRS opened up. He's now chasing after Curbs. I'll tell you what, Williams in the ascendancy here, Gareth. They got Merricky in 4th and Curbs now up into P6. They've had a wonderful start.
Yeah, Curbs, of course, coming up through the field. He started in, I think that was 14th position, was it? He's come up through the field here and looking to be making a lot of ground on those medium tyre as well. It's not like he's just jumped up the order on a pair of tyres that are going to go off. These mediums are going to come good, and there could be more places in the offing. He's falling a little bit off the back of Bushy Ants, who looks to be on a real charge here, and actually Bushy Ants may be thinking about a move on Meraki here, our pole sitter, who has fallen down through the order in these dry conditions, just hasn't had the pace to match the top 3 here.
No, well, Bushy Ants now has DRS on Meraki. Meraki doesn't have DRS on Tiamat Marduk because that gap is out to 2.5 seconds near enough. As they peel through this next left, Bushy Ants now sending it up through turn 12 and very soon 13 as well. Trying to urge himself closer and closer to the back of the Williams as he now peels through the next right at turn 13. Then has a trip down this next straight before venturing through the final 2 corners of 14 and 15 now. Just look at him. I tell you what, if he takes the last 2 corners well, it should prime up an opportunity for an overtake down through towards turn 1. And I get the vibes that he will get something because Meraki, his ERS is flashing. Here comes Bushy Ants now. Opens up the DRS side by side now with Meraki and just peels through that straight line speed on the Mercedes now into turn 1. And Bushy Ants up into 4th now, and no doubt will go on to chase Tiamat Marduk for that 3rd place too. But Meraki will have DRS out of turn 3.
Yeah, and he's looking to battle back maybe. He's going to get really close behind, but he doesn't have the ERS to burn. As you said, flashing down the straights, and I think Meraki would be best placed just to try and stick with Bushy Ants here and recharge in the DRS zones and maybe fight back later on here. But it was really a sitting duck on the straight, and that is a perfect example why you need to sip ERS like a fine wine rather than drinking it like a fizzy pop.
Yeah, well, absolutely right. I'll tell you what, superb analogy there, Gareth. Incredible. Meraki now
I have 1 or 2 every year, so that's it done.
Super duper. As when I see them come out to turn 9 and turn 10, now down through towards turn 11 yet again. Curbs now, he's also under pressure because Rutanius is now chasing him. The 2 Williams is now tied together. So Meraki has been overtaken by Bushy Ants. Both of them share the medium compounded tyre, but Bushy Ants seems to be managing it a little better. And again, this is a fallback to what we said about quali pace and race pace. There is a difference as now seeing the cars make their way down through towards the latter couple of corners. Got to remember as well, Meraki was P1 in very wet conditions. And it could just be the fact that he's just better in those conditions here at this point, Gareth.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give a quick shout out to Van Greffen. He's actually on a pair of hards in 7th position, and we're talking about the compound differences. He's the only one in hards in the top 10. And he is he's closing down on Curbs and keeping up with him. So he could be one to watch later on in the race. Of course, if they go for a medium-hard one-stop strategy and there is no safety cars to the end, I think a few cars would be struggling with fuel conservation. We've seen that before in the Creator Series, but I think Van Greffen will have a lot of pace towards the end if he can keep this up. But certainly running well in the points here as the Alfa Romeo driver.
Yeah, well, on that basis, I mean, looking at him here, I mean, if the pit stop phase was to roll around, obviously this would give him essentially the lead of the race when they all come in, because, you know, he would effectively have on-track lead position when they all come in for their first stop. So does that automatically place Rutanius in a position where he could sincerely do a really incredible overcut here?
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of strategy options that could be opened up by that. Van Greffen, he's running in 7th position. The gap is only 8.2 seconds to the lead at the moment. So pit loss time is about 23 seconds, and you have to expect that to eke up maybe a little bit. But yeah, he could be into the top position. Certainly when Tom has to pit, he'll be gaining a position. And I think it's not just the overcut, but it's maybe going long on a pair of hards. As actually runs very wide there. He doesn't want to do that too many times. He'll pick up warnings, of course, for that. But if you run long on a pair of hards, a safety car comes out, you have a shorter pit time than the others, and that can give you position and the right tyre at the right time to go and attack. But actually, Tom has just lost first position from Alex Gillen, so those softs starting to go off at the front. Yeah,
they certainly are. And I tell you what, Mr. Dale is at risk of being lapped here on lap 11 of 57 because Alex Gillen and Tom are breathing down his neck. Both of them exchanging fastest laps as well as they head down through towards turn 4. So Tom now, who has just taken the fastest lap of the race, is now weaving through the roller coaster section here at Bahrain. And there in front of them, you can see the Aston Martin and Mr. Dale, who will no doubt have blue flag conditions. We're now seeing curbs coming together now with the cars behind him. Of course, Ruthenius, who we spoke about, the highest man on hard tyres, making their way through turn 8 now, remains in behind the Williams, but looks so fast, so pacey on the harder compound tyre.
Yeah, all over the back of him, trying to make a move. Curb actually fought back brilliantly through turn 5, and these two have a right ding-dong coming up between the two of them. If Van Geffen just can get a bit closer in the DRS zones, I think he'll be able to get an overtake done here. But certainly a good pace from Ruthenius, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how quickly he would dispatch Curbs if he did get by, to see what the pace difference between the two. I think he may feel like he's being held up a little bit by the Williams driver in 6th position here, but of course it would be beneficial to his teammate Meraki if Ruthenius was kept behind for longer. So maybe Curbs will do the team game and keep sacrifice his race for the good of the team, let's say.
Yeah, it could be that case. I mean, naturally they are still a team, they are going to work together, but I tell you what, Ruthenius has no interest in such matters. Moves alongside now of Curbs, heading down through towards turn 1 here on lap 12 of 57. Ruthenius now up into P6 and splits the two Williamses. Further back, Rasin Chai also coming into the scrap too. The Alpine currently sitting in 8th, with Gullis now also trying to bring himself into the fold a second back, as there they weave through turn 4, soon to be turn 5 and turn 6. Incredible moment. Mr. Dale picking up a 5-second time penalty. It's just gone from bad to worse for him.
Yeah, I think he's been lapped, so he'd need to go long and stay out under if a safety car came out to get anywhere back into this one, but falling further back into the clutches. Great from Van Geffen to go up into 6th position. He'll look to close down the gap on another Williams for 5th, but Rasin Shai certainly part of the fight here for 7th position. And Curbs, who's had a bit of a fantastic start, falling backwards and actually just not discovering that pace during this part of the race.
Yeah, we're just seeing now Rasin Chai make his way up through the latter part of this sector now, coming through the next right out of turn 12 and turn 13, and then it's down the next straight, which will then see you up down the long main straight, down through towards turn 1. Just in front you can then see Curbs holding on to 7th for the Williams team. Ruthenius sits in 6th, coming through now turn 14 and 15, and the Alpine it's be looking to try and promote itself higher. Obviously his teammate Tom currently sits in 2nd as they head down now in towards turn 1. Still at this moment in time, Alex Gillen on top. Just look at this, Rasin Chai bringing that gap straight back down between him and of course Curbs in 7th place, as they now peel through turn 2 and turn 3 and then down through towards turn 4 as well. Just look at this as well, just look at that Alfa Romeo. Of course, Ruthenius still not yet to break the deadlock between him and Curbs. That DRS is still going to be active as Zafso takes the fastest lap of the race in P13. He's got a mammoth to climb, 13.2 seconds between him and Infratic as well. As you know, seeing the cars come through this next drive, already yellow flag and now green flag here in the first sector.
Yeah, so I'm not quite sure. I think that was a Haas perhaps there. Actually see Ruthenius going a bit deep at turn 10, and he could be under pressure here from Curbs. But yeah, you're right, he's not breaking that deadlock. Infratic out there all over the back of that guy Vince. He's possibly eyeing up an overtake for 11th position, but Zafso way off the back, and I think involved with those collisions on the opening laps. He's pitted, so he is on a 4-lap offset pair mediums. He is doing the undercut. It's dramatically early to do the undercut, of course. I think running on those softs, deciding they had gone off, and I guess for the soft runners, except from Tom, it hasn't really worked out because there's not been that early safety car, which kind of saves you the blushes and saves you that moment where, how long do I extend? Do I risk the puncture? Do I risk spinning out? And yeah, very easy to spin out here through long sweeping corners like turn 13, where we saw a few spin in qualifying.
Yeah, I think Ferrari will be a bit gutted that Alex Gillen isn't their permanent resident, of course. He's coming in, obviously subbing in for today's race for Just One Alley, but obviously at this point now, Alex Gillen looking very smart indeed as Infratic now moves up into 11th place and breaks ahead of that guy Vince. At least tries to hold him back at the very least, but that guy Vince will come straight back at him as they come down through towards turn 4. Infratic remains in that position of P11, and the two Red Bulls now in tandem. Dirt Chocolate 10th, Infratic 11th. But, you know, how often have we seen that in the past? I hark back to our trip to Austria last season where they duelled heading out of Slosh Gold in through the next left, but now this time we've got the Alpha Tauri of that guy Vince to throw into the mix. Incredible. So you got Alpha Tauri and Red Bull, obviously sister partnership, 10th, 11th, and now 12th as well.
Yeah, all powered by the Honda engine, or the Red Bull powertrain engine, which is basically a Honda. Yeah, Dirk Chocolate and Infratic certainly love to battle for that final points-paying position. Dirk Chocolate on that pair of softs, though, so it won't be too long until he comes into the pits. I think he's just at this point where he's eyeing up a safety car, hoping that one comes, going to run a little bit deeper. But Tiamat Marduk has made a pass on Tom because Tom's coming to the pits. So Tom has decided 14 laps on a pair of softs is long enough, and he is ditching it and switching on to the medium tyre compound, and we'll see where he will come out. But I think he'll be just ahead of Infratic when all is said and done, because Dirk Chocolate also peels into the pit. So as I said, coming off that pair of softs, and he will fall behind the likes of Safso and maybe Matty D1 free for 14th position.
Yeah, well, now we're seeing a move now in Infratic. Now being overtaken, re-overtaken by that guy Vince as they come together out of turn 1 and turn 2. Infratic now pushed down further back. We've got more and more cars exiting the pit lane now, Dirk Chocolate being one of them. So now behind teammate Infratic. And now that guy Vince promoted into the top 10. 9th place, along with Infratic in 10th as well. Tom now out of the pits too, after pitting onto the set of medium tyres, but he's only 2 seconds behind Infratic, so he will benefit when they all come in later on.
Yeah, they'll be right behind these two who are battling though, so it's kind of desperately annoying to find a couple of drivers within DRS range of each other battling, and they are on merit in front of Tom in this Grand Prix, so they don't have to jump out of the way, but Tom will want to get by them as quick as possible because he could end up getting held up. But Meraki has actually had a moment with Bushy Ants because Bushy Ants has spun out of turn 13.
He has, and he's dropping down the field quite benevolently. I can just see now teammate Hayden Gullis has just been trapped behind him. But we saw car after car going by. Rasin Chai also seeing curbs as well. See the Alpine, a bit of switching going on in the pit lane as in comes now Bushy Ants at a 5-second penalty. No doubt for speeding in the pit lane as well. A really, really awkward in-lap for Bushy Ants.
Yeah, damage to that Mercedes car. So I think he's had a coming together with Meraki out there on the track. And yeah, I didn't quite see it, but that is my suspicion. But Bushy Ants had done an absolutely storming drive through the field and was running really well in the top 5. But he is going to be falling all the way down here, switching onto the pair of hards. His notion maybe gets
safety car
on the photo. Safety car. That is a full safety car. What's caused that safety car?
That's interesting. Safety car deployed here in this lap. Incredible. I tell you what, it's on the cards. It's Creator Series, folks. Of course it is. Creator Series here enlisting another safety car here, this time on lap 16. And an incredible moment, to say the least. And I'll tell you what, probably not a bad thing if you're Bushy Ants to have that when you leave the pit lane. I think the one thing that will disappoint him, though, I want to know, did he pick up a penalty for venturing outside the white line on pit exit? Because he did, didn't he?
He did, he certainly did, but I think you always get one freebie in the game, so you get one warning for the first time you venture outside of the white lines. Do that a second time in the race, he will be picking up a 5-second penalty. He did get a 5-second for coming into the pits too hot, as you said, but yeah, he's used up his one joker on that. But
Alex Gillen coming into the pit lane as well, so that's our race leader, Alex Gillen. The big question is, does Tiamat Marduk come in as well? Yes, he does, so they're opting to come in and box now. On lap 17, there is the McLaren of Tiamat Marduk. And I think he would have been hoping that him running past him in the pit lane might have just stalled his team a little bit in terms of the pit stop. Of course, it won't really matter because he will form up behind Alex Gill. I mean, how appropriate is this, Gareth? The two rivals who do my team, you've got Alex Gillen and Tiamat Marduk cemented at the waist here at this point. Though I will say this, there is an Alfa Romeo that's poked in between them.
Yeah, I mean, it's miraculous, isn't it? They did and actually Tom and Van Greffen get into it on the exit of the pit lane. I think Tom is going to keep that position. But yeah, I feel for Tom actually, because of course he was on that pair of softs and he's lost out to Meraki and almost Van Greffen through the pitch. But Alex Gillen and Tim McMurdoch did a co-op around here. Oh, actually gets a 5-second penalty for that severe collision. I don't think that was quite his fault. Maybe one for the stewards afterwards. But yeah, going back to my point for the 7th time, they've opted to go in the slower cars, and somehow at Bahrain they finished 1st and 2nd. So yeah, those two know how to battle around here and have battled around here in recent memory. So those two will be absolutely hammer and tong at each other, and it's shades of last year at China, of course.
Yeah, I mean, there we've got live reaction to Tom, who just picked up a 5-second time penalty. So as you can see, probably not the happiest about it, but you know, he's still his old chipper self, is our man Tom, ambassador for Alpine, of course, content creator for Alpine as well, and a very, very integral part of this creator series. A very, you know, he's very involved in this championship, and it's great to see him as well out in the car too. Currently sat now out on this classification in 4th place, and has boxed off his soft tyres that he started the race on, now on a set of medium tyres, and currently sits just behind Meraki, who is in 3rd as well. Rutanius, after his initial stint, looking really positive in 5th too. Hayden Gullis up there as well, Rasin Chai, many others as well. Zafso getting himself back into it, Bushian. So I think this is probably a good timing for a safety car. Into the pits though. Oh, it looked like Tim McMurdoch was coming in. The way he was veering off, he was actually warming up the tyres. It looked like he was about to veer off into the pit lane.
Just playing tricks on you.
He is, yeah.
Nice. And actually playing tricks, Alex, just trying to get ahead of him, playing a little bit mind games maybe.
He fooled me. He fooled me, I'll be honest. He fooled me. It's sensational. This is a typical Creator Series race at this point. We just see the Aston Martin coming together with GB68 further down the grid as well. Big hello to all the folks at home as well. If you're tuning in here for the Creator Series, it's a pleasure to have you all here, guys. Please make sure you smash that follow button. Don't forget as well to let us know in the live chat where you are watching from as well. We want to know where you guys are in the world. Let us know, and we'd love to hear from you. If you want to check out the Creator Series as well, we're on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. We're everywhere at F1 Creator Series, so make sure you check it out. It's been an experience, this race. We're on lap 18 of 57 under safety car conditions. We've got Alex Gillen and Tim McMurdoch together. It's the face-off that dreams were made of, and it's here at the Creator Series, folks. You won't see this anywhere else.
Yeah, and it's fantastic to see these two battling back again. Mr. Dale, I think he could have stayed out, and he would have been able to unlap himself. So, Mr. Dale, if you're going to watch this back, I'll give you a little tip. If a safety car comes out, pit 1 lap later, because you still have an opportunity to pit, and that means that you don't have to do all this funny business of trying to be allowed to be let by. Yes.
Some elbows there between Alex Gillen and Tim McMurdoch heading go through towards turn 12 and turn 13. Incredible, the pair of them coming together. I mean, it looked to me that Tim McMurdoch was warming up, as was Alex Gillen, but a little bit of wheel banging as we're still under safety car conditions. But yeah, big moment. Big hello to Hoodie Pete watching from Italy. Great to have you with us, guys. Just say as well, we've had some clips taken from this race as well. If there's a specific moment that you like from this race and you want it featured on the TikTok or on the Instagram or on YouTube, please make sure you take a clip from this broadcast, folks, and you can share it and it can become part of the highlights that get released as well. We have a great team of Creator Series that push out content. Your clip could be in that content as well, so make sure you get clipping as well, folks, here on the Twitch channel, and it might get featured. So there we go. Still under safety car conditions here on this next lap. Gillen taking them around yet again. There's Tim McMurdoch who leads the way. There is Alex Gillen. There's the safety car. I tell you what, when we get back underway, I get the feeling there's going to be no holds barred when we get back down to turn 1. Do we actually know what the safety car was for after?
Maybe I was thinking for Bushy Ants leaving the pit lane in the way it did. Maybe it tricked it. We didn't necessarily see anyone come in just for damage, right? Everyone came in and of course switch tyres. Well, a lot of people did, not everyone. Matty D13's just decided to come into the pits and lost out a handful of positions, so interesting strategy call from the Haas team there, but I have no idea what that was for. Of course, we still have all 20 runners, so it's not, that's the typical thing, someone DNFs, they're on the racing line, the safety car is pulled out, but I haven't been able to work out what it was. I was thinking about that.
Yeah, well, Gillen now currently leading the way. Regardless, we've got a safety car. That's what we've been given. Obviously, no incidents in terms of DNFs. Every car is out on track, so no concerns in that regard. Obviously, Mr. Dale is still out on track. He's had his own fair share of incidents at the start of this one, but they are letting him through here. He's being allowed to unlap himself at this point. So, good display of sportsmanship from the Creator Series drivers here in this session tonight.
Yeah, of course, the cars have to fully leave the track, and the safety car is in this lap, so Mr. Dale, is he going to be allowed to go by the safety car here? I think he could get caught out in no man's land here, but he is the pace now, I believe. He is the pace. So Mr. Dale, in a situation where he's the pace, but he's not really the pace, so he's pulling ahead, and I think it will be Alex Gillen who is going to be restarting this one. I'll hand back to you.
Well, we have got confirmation that the safety car was from the Mr. Dale spin, by all accounts. So there we go. So that's the reasoning. As the safety car peels in, and there you can see Alex Gillen getting ready to go again. Mr. Dale is going round again now on his own, as we're now seeing Alex Gillen make his way around the final couple of corners here at Bahrain. And for the second time, we're going to hit pedal to the metal here at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Alex Gillen underway. Tiemann Marduk goes after him as well. Vicious tie warming from Alex Gillen. Further back, Meraki as well. We've got Tom further back. Curbs as well, coming together with Racing Chai. We've also got Routanius and also Hayden Gullis coming together as well. Side by side with Tom as he makes his way down through towards turn 4. 3 wide now as they all peel on through. Tom getting mugged here as well as Routanius plows on through. They're once again side by side, Noah's Ark as they come through the middle sector. As they do so, Gullis up into 4th. A tremendous rise from the Giraffe. He's up into 4th place, Curbs in 5th, and Tom being mugged here at this point by Routanius.
Yeah, absolutely mega restart there. How they've kept it all clean, I don't know. When it went free ride into turn 4, I was expecting damage, but there could be contact into turn 10. We saw it at the first start and at the restart. Each other just getting caught out by each other's braking zone. I don't think anyone's picked up any damage from that, but just a little bit of tapping between the two. Curbs has got into 4th position. He's battling still with Hayden Gullis. Hayden Gullis will have the outside line around 12, so he may have to concede this to the Williams driver, and he does, but Curbs on the soft tyre going super aggressive here at the start. He'll look to take the attack to the 3 ahead, who are all on the hard tyre until the end if there's no more safety cars.
Yeah, absolutely right indeed. Hayden Gullis now looking to try and eye up a position. Hopefully, in his mind's eye, he'll want to take that P4 back. Currently, we right on board here with Hayden Gullis. Now making his way down the home straight here at Bahrain. And he'll then tackle turn 1, of course, here, of course, the brand new season, season 2. Sapso now overtaking Tom. Look at this, though, down the inside now here from Routanius as they come together still on the outset of turn 1. Still he remains side by side. Gullis, you can see all composed in the bottom right, but Routanius has taken it away here in lap 21.
Yeah, and Curbs also battling with Meraki. I think Meraki's just let him by. Of course, team orders between the two, but Tom really falling out backwards here, and Safso putting him under a bit of pressure. There's only 2 seconds between 4th to 8th position. There's an incident. Who is it?
Infratic. Infratic is round, heading through towards turn 8, coming out of turn 7. Well, should I say coming into turn 7 out of turn 6, and Infratic, extensive damage. We saw the parts flying off the cars. I don't think he lost his front wing, but someone else certainly did.
Yeah, I'm looking at my telemetry. I can't see any front wing damage out there, but I believe there will be front wing damage. They're just not sharing their data with me, keeping it private for whatever reason. But Infratic, yeah, certainly going backwards here on that pair of soft tyres, and that is disaster for him. And it's Ilke has got by Razin Shai for 14th position there. Razin Shai going to try and fight back on a pair of hards versus Ilke's mediums. I think Ilke is going to win that one out though, and he'll continue forward. I wonder who is going to peel into the pits here, because if there was damage on cars that is to do with the front wing, it can be fixed. Otherwise, it's underparts, and that is very, very treacherous around here.
Well, fastest lap taken by Alex Gillen. Now seeing the cars make their way down through towards turn 1. Late on the brakes again. We can just see there Routeinius trying to hold on to that P5. Hayden Gullis just in behind though. Tom as well in the mix for the back. Zafso, McLaren have essentially turned their race around at this point. Tim and Marduk second, Zafso in 8th. So both of them currently sat in the top 10. Ahead of Bushy Ants as well, Zafso, with then that guy Vince in 10th. Chocolate down in P11, that's Dirk of course. Who's just ahead of GB68 as well. So it's all kicking off here. As the cars all clubbed together. Zafso, of course last year's champion, already looking to make some moves here as he now comes toe-to-toe here with Tom as they head out of turn 8 into turn 9 and now turn 10. DRS will become available in a few laps time. It's available now as they make their way down through towards turn 11 now. This long stretch, Zafso didn't quite get the exit he would have wanted out of turn 10 to tee up a move heading in towards turn 11, but nonetheless I'm sure he'll be back. His pace looks impressive and I doubt he would have missed a step since he won the title last season.
Yeah, and Zafso, one thing to note, didn't pit under safety car because he'd pit 6 laps earlier, so he's opted to stay out there on an older pair of mediums, but still putting on the pressure on cars who have 6 or 5 or 7 more laps pressure tyres. And yeah, that is incredible pace from our reigning champ, showing why he did win the championship last time out. Only 1 win to his name, of course, that was Austria back last year. It'd be a big recovery drive from himself if he was to win it today, but do not rule him out because he's driving really well on that set of older tyres.
Yeah, Routeinius as well trying to make a move here on Meraki. These two coming together this time now to turn 3. Routeinius now moves down the inside here of the Williams through turn 4 now. Inside line, Tiger line for Routeinius now, who's up into 4th place. Now seeing Meraki drop down the field again like he did when he was on pole at the very start of this Bahrain Grand Prix. Once again, the Williams team has split and now Gullis looking to track Meraki as well.
Yeah, Meraki falling backwards on those pair of hards. He's not going to have the absolute pace to the cars around him, so those really medium runners are looking to make moves on him quickly, but while he has the DRS from the cars in front, it's going to be harder and harder for them to overtake. So Hayden Gullis right on the back of him now, but he won't have an overtaking opportunity down into 11 here. At the front, Alex Gillen leads by over a second. He's built a DRS gap to Tiamat Marduk. Curbs closing down. He does have a penalty at the moment, 3 seconds worth of penalties. That will be for extending track limits. So Curbs has 3 seconds worth of penalties, but on those softs, and he's looking to take it to the top 2.
Yeah, Hayden Gullis also looking to try and come into the mix. Remember, as they said, tracking Meraki, who is flashing again. And too, another man who's just behind Hayden Gullis is Tom. And Tom, I tell you what, had a really nice exit heading out of turn 14 and 15 and is right in the slipstream of Hayden Gullis. Let's see what the Mercedes can pull off here. He is getting close to Meraki, might choose to go for a send here down the inside into turn 1. Does open up the door from the Mercedes. Now past the Mercedes-powered Williams. Meraki can't stop him. Gullis now up into P5. A swish move, a brilliant move here in lap 24.
Yeah, Meraki falling backwards on those hards. Tom will be the next person to line him up for a pass. 9-lap old mediums versus 7-lap old hards. But Meraki really struggling during this second phase of the race. Starting on the mediums, he kept up with the top 2, but it could be a bad news for the likes of Alex Gillen and Tiamat Marduk because they're also on these hards, and this wave of medium runners are coming ever closer towards them. Van Greffen only 1 second off the back of Curbs. He'll be in DRS soon.
Yeah, very late on the brakes there as well. I tell you what, one thing I've noticed about Tom and the way he drives, takes a lot more of the circuit than what his competitor Meraki does, which obviously gives him a lot more speed heading into the next section. But I'm guessing because he's on those medium tyres, he can afford to do that, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it allows you to have more confidence on the off the track, but Swave is retired from the session. He's crashed, and that would be
VSC.
a virtual safety car out. Virtual safety car.
Yeah, VSC. Swaves is out, so we've lost Swaves, and it's been promoted to a full safety car. A full safety car, our second of this Bahrain Grand Prix. Swaves is out. Alfa Romeo reduced to 1 car in this session, and now cars are coming into the pit lane. Many of them, in fact. Curbs coming in. Zafso's coming in. That's incredible. Obviously, Zafso didn't pit under the first safety car, as you so rightly alluded to, Gareth, but opting for a safety car this time around.
Yeah, and Curbs coming off of those softs. He'd done his time on them, and he's gone on to a pair of medium tyres. Safso onto a pair of hards. We saw the runners out there not have much luck with them, but of course he will have less laps to run. I don't expect anyone else to come in because a lot of them had the option to go through. I think Alex Gillen, Tiamat Marduk, Van Geffen, they were past the pit lane when the full safety car was declared. But I don't expect them to come to the pits because they have track position at the moment. But yeah, on those hard tyres at the front two, maybe a pair of mediums. I don't think a pair of mediums is getting to the end here. So it would be to switch to a pair of hards if you were going to do it. So I think that excludes Alex Gillen and Tiamat Marduk. Van Geffen, of course, Retainers, and Hayden Gillis is are on mediums. Again, I think they'll be staying out on those mediums. I think we've seen who is going to pit here, and Safso down all the way in 15th position. He probably would have hoped that other cars would have pitted around him. Alex Budd, a car who has pitted, and so was Curb. So yeah, I think they lose out here, but we'll see what their progress is once this safety car comes in.
Well, just a reminder of who we've got in the running order right now. Alex Gillen untouched at the top end. And he's going to be forming up behind the safety car. Great news for Tiamat Marduk, though, because it means that he can have another go at Alex Gillen when we get back underway. Rutanius in third, Hayden Gullis in fourth, Meraki in fifth, Tom in sixth, Bushy Ants in seventh, Dirk Chocolate in eighth, Curbs in ninth. Of course, that's not being Curbs, in fact, that is Dat Guy Vince. Remember, Dat Guy Vince not using the correct driver number, as I said, will be reprimanded after this race. GB68, 10th place, El Taco Man in 11th in his first start. Great recovery drive actually from El Taco Man from where he was before. We've also got It's Ilky Milky, or It's Ilky in 13th, just behind his teammate Matty D13, who is also using the wrong number. He's using Dirk Chocolate's number when he shouldn't. Curbs, the official Curbs, is in 14th place. Zafso in 15th, Alex Budd in 16th, Emphatic 17th, with Racing Chai 18th. We've got Mr. Dale down in 19th place. We've lost Swave, hence the reason for this safety car. So there we have it, folks. And 26 laps completed in this 57 lap race session. Alex Gillen still holds on to the lead. Now, if you are on the medium tyres right now, obviously I think you'd be delighted that the field is bunched back up, but naturally it's a bit painstaking because any gaps that you have built, say for example, you know, Hayden Gullis and Rutanius on Meraki, obviously Meraki is going to take some time for him to get those hards bodied up. It must be quite frustrating because it now means you've got to try and build those gaps again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's bittersweet, I would say. I mean, they had that gap. Alex Gillen and Tiamat Marduk are absolutely playing mind games with each other. But yeah, going back to the point, I think it'll be bittersweet because they are closer behind. Curbs has pitted, and he was maybe a bit of a buffer. Maybe Alex Gillen and Tiamat Marduk were trying to rely on him going backwards and them having to battle by him and the hards coming into their own against the mediums. But yeah, I think it isn't too long before those mediums will start to go backwards to those hard tyres. So I think expect Van Geffen and Hayden Gillis to be extra punchy on the restart, trying to make moves on the two race leaders here. But as you said, it won't be too long before they will be in the clutches of those runners who have gone on hards, and those will go to the end if the safety cars, if there's no more safety cars. We've seen two safety cars. Safety cars breed safety cars, don't they, in motorsport? And I don't think this is going to be our final one today. And touch wood it isn't, because we're having a cracking race.
Oh, we are. I mean, to be fair, the history of this championship has always suggested that safety cars tend to be a regularity when it comes to the Creator Series. So, you know, I would firmly expect there to be plenty more, certainly off the basis of what we saw last season. I mean, obviously starting a brand new season on this occasion, seeing these drivers line up, obviously there's still lots of action to be had. Gillen obviously running his own race right now, but for how much longer? I mean, obviously he managed to build a gap on Tiamat Marduk. That's automatically been broached back in. Now, if Tiamat Marduk is saving his tyres more so than what Alex Gillen is, could it be that Tiamat Marduk can attack him later on this stint, would you say?
Yeah, it is absolutely a possibility. I think these two, they'll not want to do it. Every ounce of the fibre won't want to do it. But I think they have to work together early doors here to make sure that they don't fall too far back if they do to those mediums. But yeah, Tiamat Marduk doesn't want to get too much embroiled in battling because that does wear out the tyres quicker. And as you say, he will be maybe thinking about going long and winning the race overall, but losing maybe the minute fight. I think what's difficult for Team Marduk is on those hard tyres, it's typically second driver who loses out the most at a restart, because the reaction time is longer than the third driver to the first driver, if you understand what I'm saying. So I think Team Marduk is going to be very vulnerable at the restart here, and Alex Gillen likes to have a funky restart or two. In the past, of course, in China, he left it very, very late a couple of times, or went very early, and it will be interesting to see how these two cooperate in these opening moments. But I think we're going to have the safety car in this lap. I think. Who knows?
Well, Rutanius is obviously currently sat in third, and we know that he's pretty good at getting off the ground, and naturally we've seen him make overtake after overtake, dicing through the field. You know, he could easily provide a thorn in the side for TMM Marduk at this point, would you not say?
Rutanius, yeah, I suspect him to go for a lunge into T1 here. That is my prediction. Another quick note before we have to restart. Mr. Dale back on the lead lap now. He is back in contention to this race.
Yep, he certainly is. Back on the lead lap, Mr. Dale, which is great to hear. So we've got 19 drivers all getting set, ready for the restart here. Alex Gillen is going to be the man to take them away. Foot back down on the throttle as they now power through the final couple of corners here in lap 27. And for the third time, they're going to certainly hit pedal to the metal for the third time in this Bahrain Grand Prix. Alex Gillen pulling away ever so relentlessly as he does so. Tim Marduk in behind. Rutanius did not quite get the jump he perhaps would have wanted in order to land a blow here on them as they now peel through the first sector now out of turn 3 in towards turn 4. They've got this next straight to take, and once again now Gull is starting to reel in Rutanius as they head through turn 4 now. No overtakes in the immediate top 10, but Alex Gillen looking so composed. Tim Marduk, not a bad restart for him either.
No, absolutely. It was Van Geffen who got caught out, and my prediction straight out the window there. He was caught napping, Hayden Gillis all over the back, but Meraki isn't too far behind Gillis either here, and we saw collisions into turn 10. The last time we've had the field bunched together, will we see any collisions here? I think it's all nice and clean through there this time. And yeah, absolutely a good restart from TM Marduk, but he's got to keep within 1 second of Alex Gillen, otherwise he'll lose that DRS toe, which is so vital for an overtake here at the Bahrain course.
Yeah, Curbs looking all over the rear now at this point on Matty D13 as they come up through now turn 12. Very shortly turn 13 will be up next as they now weave through it further back. Itzilki is also in behind them as well. And Infratic, who was recovering after his major incident earlier on, currently sits in 16th place and recovering as time goes on. Lap 28 of 57, but now 1 lap ahead of when we restarted under the safety car. Still Gillen in front, and just look at that, already broken a second on the car in second. Now here comes now Curbs, looking to make a big move here this time on Matty D13. Has done it before the corner, might get 2 for the price of 1 now as he now tackles El Taco. Brilliant move there from Curbs. P11 for the Williams, and is now chasing after GB68. Brilliant run down through towards turn 1. He took 2 drivers in the space even before 1 corner. An exceptional move from Curbs.
Yeah, really making use of that fresher rubber. A bit of an ERS dump, but worth it in the end to get those 2 places. He is just 1 place away from the points places at the moment. GB68 next, as you said. Safso on those hards, not being able to make the same progress that Curbs is doing on those mediums. I think everyone who is on the mediums at the moment would have to pit again. Maybe Curbs could get to the end, but I suspect everyone on the medium pitting again here. But Curbs is going to have serious fresher rubber compared to the rest, and we could see him get into a good points-paying position here.
He could well do. Tell you what, if he continues in this vein, he'll be in a very decent position. Of course, like many, he does have a penalty to his name, and comes through the next right-hander now. There's quite a string of cars ahead of him, so he no doubt will catch up with the others ahead. His next opponent, though, GB68, also closing the gap on that guy Vince for 9th place. GB, who is now back up into the points, fastest lap for Alex Gillen, a 1:31.908. And again, that gap out to 1.6 seconds. He's on the pace at this point.
Yeah, it's been full EOS deployment before the 2 of them. but Alex Gillen looks to have the measure of Tiamat Marduk here. But yeah, he'll want to get in range. Ooh, was
Bushy Ants going off, and that's promoted GB68 up at place. Now Curbs might want to take his chance here if he can. Big moment there. We've also got a move from Zafso heading in towards turn 4. Having a look down the inside of Ilki as they head out of turn 4 now, and Fratic just in behind them too. To come through turns 5, 6 and now 7. Zafso unable to pull off that overtake, but he might have a go now. Heading in towards turn 8 now, might switch the inside. No, defending the inside there from Ilki, but he's opened the door this time now, and Zafso is going to look to spring the trap as they head through now. Turn 10, heading out of that position now. You can just see them still tied up together. The Haas remains ahead of him. It's Ilki doing enough to keep Zafso at bay, but Zafso does have DRS.
Yeah, it's Ilki all out of place here, and Zafso putting him offline does make him go a bit further back, and I think Zafso is really looking for an alternate overtaking opportunity here. It'll be down the straight soon, but all of this battling takes Ilke out of DRS range. He's just within his teammates' DRS range, but if he does fall out of it, you can expect Zafso to cruise by here because he's just performing so much better at this stage of the race. Of course, he's on the hards. I think he's one of the few drivers out there who could easily go to the end. So he just is focusing on not losing too much gap to the cars in front, because of course they will probably pit again, and he wants to keep within range of them, so the offset is not too great. Meanwhile, I think someone's going backwards, are they? Or is there just lots of overtakes?
Just 2 overtakes, I think. Tom and Meraki coming together as well, side by side down through towards turn 4. Meraki outside line, Tom inside line. Tom doing enough to hold on to that 5th place. Meraki though, he's going to hang around the inside, still can't find a way back through. We also saw that guy Vince coming together with Dirk Chocolate for that 7th place. So exceptional moment there between those two groups, fighting over the top 10 placements. Now, Alex Gillen has been putting in fastest lap after fastest lap here at this point, Gareth. Now, is this him trying to construct a fast in lap, would you think?
I would be surprised this early. Only 14 lap on that pair of hards. It would be very alternate. I think he'll be in his head just trying to build a gap to beat Tiamat Marduk, but actually Tiamat Marduk has come back a little bit in this lap, just under a second. The last lap for him was 1:31.908. That was 4 tenths quicker than Tiamat Marduk, but Tiamat Marduk's just set the fastest second sector of all. So it is those two. I think they're just duking it out. I think they are just pushing each other to the absolute limit here in the Creator Series, and more of this all year, please, because this has been fantastic. And are you sure you can't do every Saturday, Alex? Because it's always great to see you race.
It is, and it's great to see him tie up with the likes of Tiamat Marduk as well. No, just looking at it, because it seems to me like each lap we see Gillen get quicker and quicker and quicker. And you do wonder whether they're trying to get that delta up so they can make that final pit stop. And certainly on lap 32 of 57, if you were to plumb for another move onto the medium tyres, generally you might want to come in, should we say, in the next maybe 8 laps or so?
Yeah, next 8 laps or so, that's certainly right. Maybe take them a little bit longer and have a final lap dash on the softs. But yeah, it will be who blinks first between those two. I think a pair of mediums would be able to go to the end here, but it's whether you can take them all the way to the end here. And of course, you don't want to pit and then a safety car comes out, because yeah, it's going to be tricky if that happens, because you will have lost so much ground and crucially track position. Van Geffen, though, isn't too far behind Tiamat Marduk. Only 4 tenths is the gap, and he closed down massively in the DRS of straight behind. I expect a pass for second position here. Yeah,
it could well be. I mean, Rutanius has been really quick, exceptional, very wide though, heading out of turn 13, and will be making his way down towards turn 14 and 15. Just now seeing them come together again. Looks like the Matty D13 is having some problems connected to the server. That's not the first time we've seen him disconnect tonight, so having a few issues of his own as we now see Rutanius making his way down this next straight. And he'll be commencing his next lap of 33 of 57 as they come down through towards turn 1. Just to remember as well, if you're a fan of the Creator Series, make sure you hit that follow button as well, folks. Stay up to date with whenever we go racing. We've got a hench calendar coming up. This is only round 1 of the championship, so So make sure you stay clued up and up to date, not to mention checking out the socials on Twitter at F1 Creator Series. And you'll find them on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok as Dirk Chocolate now looks for the move here. Outside line this time, heading through turn 4. Dirk Chocolate ahead of GB68. A great battle between these two as they head now out of turn 4, turn 5 as well. 6 and 7. Dirk Chocolate has his number and is now chasing after Curbs, or should I say that guy Vince, for P7.
Yeah, and actually Bushy Ants looking to get involved and try and make light of GB68 on the back foot there, but didn't get the move done into turn 8, but he is right on the back. Safso has got damage at the back, so the reigning champ having an absolutely awful first stab at his title defence here. Down in 16th position, on hards, with front wing damage. He's just going to survive until a next safety car comes along, if one does come along.
Yeah, absolutely right indeed. There is Dirk Chocolate in the bottom right of your view as you're seeing it, folks. Just making his way through turn 13. You've seen the play there on the wheel as well, as they make their way down through towards 14 and 15 to boot for the back as well. GB68, Bushy Ants in 10th as well. I'll tell you what, all of them strung out. To tell you what, it's not over till it's over, folks. And you could argue that Season 1 was definitely the precursor to a brilliant Creator Series second season.
There's a battle for the lead.
I just hear a murmur
Marduk all over the back of Alex Gillen. He's closed down that gap, so maybe a mistake from Alex Gillen, and maybe Tiamat Marduk will try to close down towards turn 4. I think he's going to be a little bit too far away. Van Geffen lurking in the background, but these two starting to get very close together. I think Alex Gillen had an uncharacteristic mistake, and now it is a fight between these two. It'll be very hard for Gillen to break out of that DRS toe now.
I tell you what, you never ever would have expected to see that. Obviously Gillen had such a comfy advantage. All of a sudden it's been sapped away almost instantly, and now Tiamat Marduk, if he can remain within the DRS, he could give himself a chance at maybe taking the lead of the race here on lap 34 as they now make their way down through towards turn 11, soon to be turn 12. Rutanius getting himself marked up in behind as well. It just seemed to happen all of a sudden at that point, Gareth. It was just a huge moment. Literally, we saw the gap. It stretched out to over a second earlier on, and now it's come together as Dirk Chocolate now is squabbling again with GB68. He's found his way back through past the Red Bull and now sits in 8th.
Yeah, having a great royal battle between the two. But yeah, I was just focusing on this battle the lap before. Look at the top of the foot. The gap's only 4 attempts. How has that happened? And I can only imagine it was a mistake by Alex Gillen, because it was a large amount of time to lose out. But Van Geffen right on the back of Tiamat Marduk, even looking for a move into turn 1, and they'll take it too wide as they head into the apex, and it'll be the inside of turn 1, but the inside of turn 2 for Tiamat Marduk, and he will cling on to that position, but Van Geffen will again have the DRS, so will Tiamat Marduk. Will the Alfa Romeo be able to close down? I think he's a little bit too far away, but looking very racy on those medium tyres. 18 lap old, I would have expected them to start going off, but he is absolutely part of this fight.
He is indeed. Lap 35 and 57, folks. The clock is ticking down, and the more it ticks down, this race will heat up. And Gillen currently holds on to the lead of this race. Tiamat Marduk just in behind him, but he's got bigger problems because Rutanius is starting to push in third. He wants more than third. He's been chasing a race win, and I tell you what, he's had podiums before. He's been in the fight for podiums, but to say the least, he hasn't had the luck always go his way, but this time might tip the favour on the scale in his quarter as he goes up the inside at turn 11. Rutanius now up into second and now ahead of Tiamat Marduk, and will no doubt now give chase after Alex Gillen for the lead of this race. 2 Ferrari constructors currently sitting in Ps 1 and 2.
Yeah, very dangerous to go for a move into turn 11, not just because you could lose a DRS toe of Alex Gillen, but that gap has come down a tenth already, and I think Alex Gillen could be under pressure here from the sister Ferrari power unit in that Alfa Romeo, and he's going to close down on the start-finish straight. Tiamat Marduk isn't going to be able to attack back because he does have DRS. I think Van Geffen maybe could eye up a move into turn 4 here.
Yeah, I think he could. You know, there's an opportunity here, and I tell you what, I like the pace of Rutanius right now. He's looking solid, he's looking complete. The question is, can he take down the one, the only Alex Gillen? I mean, I'm sure that Tiamat Marduk feels a little sore losing out the position to the Alfa Romeo, but I tell you what, I'm sure he wouldn't dislike a move from Rutanius on Alex Gillen at this point.
Yeah, maybe a move, maybe a robust move would be not too bad.
Just
maybe
to help
he'll
him
be
out a
telling.
bit.
Yeah, maybe telling him to do a one-handed overtake with the flute in hand to
tell you what, he looks
maybe
quick
have
here,
a bit of
Gareth.
contact.
He
But
looks-
no, he looks absolutely quick. He's on a really old pair of mediums at this point. I would expect these to fall away and start to fall into clutches of hard runners. But this is when he takes the battle to these front two, and we know how quick these front two are. Both race winners. Van Geffen, after his first race win here, as you said, and being on a bit of a tour of Europe, that's clearly refreshed him and brings him much pace here, and who knows, could be vying for his first lead here, certainly up in esteemed company at the front.
Yeah, splitting the two drivers that would commence a two-player career mode save that, of course, would make history and become legendary folklore in the world of the F1 game, as we're now riding on board here with Brutanius, heading down this long straight, chasing after Alex Gillen down through towards turn 1, commencing their lap 37 of 57. Now, when do they start thinking of final pit stops now, Gareth? Because we're now coming down to the final 20 laps, and this is when you start thinking about whether you want to jump onto a set of mediums or a set of softs.
Yeah, 15 laps to go. I don't think the mediums could go 35 laps. I do wonder if one of Alex or Tiamat Marduk will think about going to the end on a pair of hards. Very much, if a safety car comes out, expect them all to pit. But I think Van Geffen will try and take the fight to Alex Gillen. As soon as he maybe falls away from DRS, that's when he'll decide to pit. Of course, the field starts to string out at this point, but I think he would fall down into maybe 8th or 9th position if anyone pitted from this leading trio. But of course, pit stops are going to come all up and down the field because everyone's on a very similar strategy. You have to go all the way down to 11th position on curbs on a different strategy. He is on a 12-lap old pair of mediums. He pitted under the last safety car coming off of those softs and has he's not made too much progress, but he has slowly eked his way back into that battle, which Dirk, GB68 and Bushy Ants has been. Actually, Bushy Ants has got by Dirk Chocolate at some point, but Curbs in 11th position, right on the back of that battle, and he'll be looking to get through them. He'll be hoping they pit soon. I think Curbs would maybe have a thought about going to the end. The offset will be absolutely mega when one does pit, though. The time will come down and down and down, but if you leave it any later than 10 laps, then I don't think you'll have time to do it. So it is over the next 5 laps, it will either happen or it won't.
Yeah, well, Alex Gillen once again fastest, but he's towing along Rutanius, who only seems to be getting closer and closer here at this point in the race. Within now, or touching distance of 2.5 tenths, as they now make their way down through this next segment. We have got another battle as well in Furore. Look at this. 3 cars all dueling it out here for P7. Has now seen that guy Vince and GB68 outside line for GB, and the Aston Martin hailing the renewal with Fernando Alonso in the team. Well, I tell you what, there's only one L plan. It's GB68's plan, and he's up into 7th place, overtaking that guy Vince for that 7th spot. A tremendous move in a snake section where you barely see any overtakes. That was George Russell-esque when they went to Sakhir 2 years ago.
Yeah, superb from 68, but you have a feeling that that guy Vince is not going to take this one lying down. And of course, we'll have the DRS. I think they're all running at very similar pace. And yeah, I can't call this one, but you hope that it doesn't end up in tears for one of them, because it's been a great battle throughout here from the last safety car period. You have to say, over the last 12 or 13 laps, you've seen these cars battling out to 7th position, and GB68 making the moves. Maybe he can actually make it stick and get away, but of course the DRS is coming up, and that will close this battle down once again. Curbs is probably quite frustrated just in the DRS train of it all, not being able to capitalise on the cars in front. He may be just thinking about tyre preservation, trying to get those tyres to the end, but that guy Vince is going to close down on the Aston Martin, looking for the inside, and GB68 will cover the left and try to go for the switchback through turns 1, 2 and 3, but GB68 will have DRS and battle again out of here. It's been a battle for the ages for 7th position, and he's going to go up to the inside. It's going to get covered off, and oh, actually for the lead, go over to the lead.
Yeah, Rutanius now has taken the lead of the race here at Bahrain away from Alex Gillen. A big moment here on lap 39 of 57. It all comes down to this. 3 cars in the mix. Rutanius, Gillen, Tiermet Marduk. Tom is only 2.5 seconds behind as well. It's a banzai finish here at Bahrain, folks. Do not miss a thing. This is the Creator Series.
Yeah, it's going to get very, very spicy. I don't expect Rutanius to pull away on those mediums at all, because they will be absolutely cooked. Alex Gillen right on the back of Rutanius, but Tiermet Marduk would love to snipe that position off his career mode rival, and it is going to be absolutely tasty, this one. Alex Gillen already looking racy before they even come to the final corner. DRS will be activated after turn 15.
Yeah, Alex Gillen will not think twice at this point. This will soon be lap 40 of 57. They conclude lap 39. Onwards and upwards for Rutanius, chasing a first win of the series, but Alex Gillen doing everything he can to stop it, chasing another win for his locker. Inside line of turn 1. Gillen now with a nose in front. Can he get a car in front? Not quite. Rutanius, tiger line through turn 2. Round turn 3 they go, remaining wheel to wheel as the Ferrari now looks to land a charge here on his Ferrari engine counterpart. Turn 4 next, hanging it around the inside now. Does Alex Gillen? In comes Tiermet Marduk coming into the mix too. 3 car scrap, 3 car affair, but Rutanius brilliance, defensive brilliance, Ministry of Defence here in lap 40.
It'd be a mega battle if he kept it up for 17 laps, keeping that defence strong. Every time they go for a fight, Tom will also get reeled into this battle, so it could become a 4-way, a 5-way battle. Of course, Hayden Gillen's right behind Tom, but yeah, Alex Gillen trying everything to get by Van Geffen there, and Rutanius just did everything to keep him behind. As you said, Ministry of Defence, it was superb racing and defensive work.
Well, I tell you what, making overtakes, so we've already seen it once. GB68 did it earlier on. Of course, we saw that when I referred to 2 years ago. I was referring to George Russell's first step into a Mercedes, and that incredible move against his teammate at the time, Valtteri Bottas, which was absolutely, well, just phenomenal. And now we've just seen something incredible as well, a battle for the lead as Silky Milky takes the fastest lap for the second successive time. That's not, though, what we're looking at. We're looking at the fight between Rutanius and Alex Gillen, which is really kicking off here now in lap 41 of 57. And now Gillen again goes to the inside again at Bahrain. He's not done. He wants this lead. He wants this win. P1 up for grabs. Rutanius though says no. He wants to hold on to it. Medium tyres versus hards in the closing stage to this Bahrain race. Gillen once again though with the inside retakes the lead here at Sakir. Sensational move. The prancing horse prances into the front, and once again it's looking like he's going to be on top, but don't count out Rutanius. This is far from over.
Yeah, and Tiermet Marduk with a front row seat to this battle. He would have been hoping that Alex Gillen maybe fell behind and he could have cruised in up the inside at turn 4, but it is going to be, oh, actually Van Geffen runs a little bit deep into turn 10, does he's right behind. He's fighting back. He's fighting back. He could even go for a move now, but I think he's just a little bit too far back. But Tiermet Marduk will hope that these two swipe each other off of the road, because he is going to want every single point in this championship. He's going to be here for the long run, but he will remember that Alex Gillen isn't going to be here every week, so if he doesn't get the win, he won't be in a row, but there's a safety car.
Safety car deployed here late on, a big moment. Now, I'm not sure what caused it, but there was a yellow flag in Sector 3, and I do wonder if it was Ilki, because all of a sudden they've caught up with him, and I think there's been a big moment there. Now, what do they decide to do? Are they all coming in for pit stops? Is this the moment? Because we discussed this, Gareth. In they come. Alex Gillen's coming in. Rutanius comes in. Surely Tiermet Marduk comes in as well. They're all coming in. Fresh tyres, a straight assault, right to the end. Drama here in the closing laps here at Bahrain.
Yeah, everyone on a really old, tired pair of tyres. Even Curbs, you could think is going to come into the pits here because they're on 16-lap old. So it's a thought about whether it's soft or medium. These softs will be super quick for the first few laps, but will they get to the end? It'll be about 13 laps of running. I'm not sure. But Tiermet Marduk is going onto a pair of mediums. Alex Gillen onto a pair of mediums. Rutanius on a pair of softs. So we see that split strategy. Curbs, I thought maybe he'd come into the pits, but he stayed out. So he's staying out on an old pair of mediums. He wants to be part of the battle of front in some way, and he will be here. He will take the lead of the race after the restart. How quickly can the front runners dispatch Curbs, and will that get impacted into their battle?
I hate to say it, there's some long faces in the picture-in-picture GB68. I tell you what, hands on his head at that point, and he currently sits in 12th place as well. He's left the pit exit. I think the double stack has affected a couple of the drivers. Obviously, Mr. Dale would have taken, who's currently in P5 actually. Huge recovery from Mr. Dale.
Massive.
That's
Massive.
a huge recovery. He was lapped. He's now P5, and I get the feeling that GB68 had to double stack behind him, hence his reaction. We also had a reaction from Tom as well, who was also stumped at this point. He is currently sat in 8th place. He's in with a chance, so I don't know why he's upset. I think in the closing stages, with him being on soft, I think obviously maybe he was slowed down in the pit lane. Bushiance is retired. We've lost Bushiance.
I think that's on track as well. He's pulled over at the exit of turn 10.
I think Dirk caused the safety car.
Dirk has called the safety, yeah, because he's out as well.
I think Dirk was the cause of the safety car. Let's tune in to Dirk Chocolate. There he is. There is the culprit. I swear it's him. He's got a record.
He's got a half grin on, hasn't he? He's got a half grin on.
this has got Dirk Chocolate painted all over it, honestly. Yeah. This is him. I remember Silverstone last season, and what a moment he did. Yeah, he's got a bit of a long face though. I don't think he meant it. I really don't.
Yeah. Well, he's put the time in. He was running well in the points. There was no reason for him to cause a safety car.
No.
So yeah, cars being allowed to unlap themselves here. I believe that's Ilke who's being allowed to unlap himself. We saw that earlier with Dale, who's now back up into 5th position. He's on a 28 lap old pair of hards. So if he can stay in the points, that would be a monolithic achievement from Dale. Also, Matty D13, one on the naughty step with the wrong name on the broadcast. He's in 8th position. He's on 24 lap old hards. I expect him to go backwards at the restart, but yeah, I think Dirk Chocolate's caused this one. Maybe accidental collision or something. We'll have to see what happened. I'm sure the clip will appear in the socials after the race.
Without a doubt. We've got a very, I think, happy Hayden Gullis right now, who is on soft tyres, currently sits in 6th place, so he has a huge chance as well to get a good getaway. You'd imagine at this point, though, that Mr. Dale is going to get hoovered up at this point, because obviously he didn't come into the pits, did he? So at the end of the day, hence why he's gone so high on the classification tower. But you can't blame him for doing it, because you feel like he had to at this point, you know, given the fact that he was so far down. He needed to stay out and effectively utilise the safety car to his benefit.
Yeah, and you know what? Another safety car coming out, maybe he could cling on to some points. It was something very alternate to what everyone's doing. When you see everyone going to the pits, sometimes you feel like, well, actually, I'll just cruise on up, see what position I can get to. Up to 5th position isn't too bad a result. We see Curbs do a similar thing, actually, up into 1st position on an old pair of mediums. Sometimes it's just worth doing something a bit different. If you're going to be out the points anyway, then it's worth a shot.
It is, absolutely right. I tell you what, folks, are you enjoying this as much as me? I'm having a great time. I hope you guys are too. Let us know in the live chat if you're having a good time. Also, make sure you get your clips in, folks. We want to hear from you. Get your clips in if you want them on the highlight reels. If you want them on the socials, get them on there. Let us know as well, what's been your favourite moment? What has been the most exciting moment? Let us know in the live chat too. Don't forget as well to leave a follow if you haven't done so already. Also, check out F1 Creator Series on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, also YouTube. We are everywhere, folks. Do not miss a thing. You will not miss a thing if you stay clued in. Not forgetting as well the Discord as well. Links are available, and I'm sure our good man Harry, who knows what he's doing, Harry59, there he is, the magician, there has got the link tree there where you can find all the socials for the F1 Creator Series. It's been a pleasure having you all with us here for the closing bell for this brilliant race. Now we're going to have, without a doubt, one of the greatest finishes to a Grand Prix you're ever likely to see. How about that? And apparently F1 Kid 95 has just enlightened us on what's happened with Dirk. Can't believe Dirk binned it in the pit wall. He binned it into the pit wall, Gareth.
Going into the pits. He bins it out of the race, brings out this safety car. It's good for content creation, I'll say that much.
Oh.
We're going to have an absolutely grandstand finish at the end here. I cannot decide who is going to win it. Because Alex Gill and Tiamat Marduk, they're going to be vulnerable in these early laps. Van Geffen has shown he's quick on an old pair of mediums. Rutanius probably is in the mix here. You look at Hayden Gillis, he's good at late safety car restarts. He can come back through the field. Honestly, it's anyone's for grabs. Meraki down in 7th positions. Our pole sitter, he has every chance of winning too. It is going to be sensational. Stay tuned. It's going to be fantastic. If you need a drink, go for a drink now and come back, because actually, following Tommy always has a crash. But come back and watch this one. It's going to be fantastic.
Well, I mean, look at this. I mean, thank you, Tommy Pickles, for that clip as well. Ben wins. Who's going to win, guys? I want to hear from you in the live chat as well regarding this. We've got here Marco Mancini saying Ben wins this hands down. Mega. If any of you have got a clip as well for Dirk. Oh, GB binned Dirk into the pit wall. It was GB's fault. Oh my goodness me. I can't wait to be in the driver chat after this.
There's going to be some choice words, let's say that.
I think without a doubt, Gareth, this is definitely my most favourite Creator Series race I think I've called ever. As now we've got Curbs making his way around the final 2 corners here on lap 44 and 57, and for the 4th time we're going to put pedal to the metal here at the Bahrain Grand Prix, and Alex Gillen immediately pounces on Curbs, who is not yet boxed. Gillen now on medium tyres down the inside now past the Williams, takes the lead of the race here in lap 45 and 57. Further back, Rutanius being joined by Tiamat Marduk. Rutanius, who boxed onto a fresh set of softs, will surely get Curbs here, heading in towards turn 4. Side by side they are still. Very easy, smoothly does it. Rutanius now up into 2nd. Hayden Gullis has marched past. Oh, he's gone. Gullis is gone.
He's gone, he's spun it. He is, I think, involved in the collision with other drivers at turn 4. He's going to fall backwards. 12th position is where he ends up. But Tiamat Marduk also getting by his Curbs for the lead of the race. I think Alex Gillen needed Curbs to keep the other cars behind if he was going to have any way at easily winning this one. But as it stands, Rutanius right behind, and actually Tiamat Marduk not too far behind either. He's going to look to close down. Only 1.2 seconds separate the top 3 as we go towards the end of lap 45 here. Dale's
gone. Dale's got safety car. Goodness me, safety car again. Incredible scenes, 4 safety cars here in this Bahrain race in the Creator Series. Can you believe it, Gareth Allen?
The medium runners, Alex Gill and Tiamat Marduk, that is the one thing they didn't want to happen, because Van Geffen on those softs,
he's going to conserve
them to the end.
He's going to conserve them. He's going to conserve the tyres. I can't believe it.
Meraki in 4th. Meraki's got himself into 4th position and was let by very quickly, actually, by his Williams teammate. So good teamwork between the two. Curbs does come into the pits now. He will go onto a pair of softs and run to the end. But I think that is disastrous for Alex Gillen and Tiamat Marduk's chances of winning this race, because this safety car will mean that tyre life is less of an issue around here, and of course deg very high at this track.
I cannot believe what we have just seen, folks, and I tell you what, you won't find it anywhere else. I can tell you that for sure. I mean, some shockers here. I mean, it has to be said. Some surprise moments as well. I mean, Mr. Dale losing it towards the end, which is such a shame because he was right in the mix, but he was essentially animal fodder towards the end of this race because he opted to stay out on his compounded tyres. You can understand it though, because he opted for track position over the pit stop, needed the track position over the pit stop, but unfortunately I think due to the madness there was no doubt going on around him, obviously that is what ended up him costing his race essentially. That's DNF territory for him. But just look at this.
I think it's probably Hayden Gillis. That's who they came together with. That's my suspect.
Yeah,
that's my suspect.
Yeah, I agree. I think obviously we saw them coming together earlier on. We will of course get reaction from Gullis Cam as well. There he is. Obviously recovery mission for him as well because he's down in 11th place now. I think the only gratification he can take out from all of this is the fact that he's on soft tyres and he could conserve the wear on him.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some medium runners ahead. Also, Matty D13 he's in the Mr. Dale position now. He's on an old pair of hards in 5th position, almost identical. Could we see crash bang, what a video, round 2 into turn 4? Yeah, that could happen again at the restart. So yeah, I think Hayden Gillis still could be on for a points position here. That's not out of the question at all. We'll have the pace on the medium runners directly in front of him. Safso and Al Tuckerman. How's Safso back into 9th position? He's been up and down like the stock exchange today.
Yeah, he certainly has. Great analogy again. Gillen leading the charge for how much longer? Rutanius in 2nd on soft tyres. Meraki, who remember started from pole, is now in 4th on soft tyres as well. Now, do you back him for an outside chance? Because he can race around here, Gareth. I mean, we know he can. I mean, I know he lost a few places at the start, but on soft tyres, towards the end of this race, we've got 10 laps left. Goodness knows whether we'll have more under the safety car. I mean, Alex, looking on my screen now, Alex Budd has just left the pit lane, and he hasn't caught up with the group yet, so that could effectively leave the safety car out for another lap.
Yeah, of course, the conditions are sometimes a bit sketchy, but usually the whole pack needs to be bunched together. I think he will get onto the end of the pack here. So it is, yeah, it's touch and go on that front. Meraki, absolutely, I back him for a win here. I absolutely back Meraki for a win, or at least a podium here. He is
did enough to get pole, didn't he? To be honest,
he did do enough. He's got pace. I know that was in wet conditions, but he's been quick. He's been working with the Williams Esports team to improve his pace. Of course, an ambassador for them, and he is pushing up into the top 3 positions here. Not out of the question. It will be towards the end if Alex Gillen and Team at Marduk will be able to fight back. But I think that last safety car, 10 laps still to go here, so that is a long stint still. But it'll be towards the end here, which will be absolutely mega and crucial to who wins this. Another safety car, and it's not out of the question because we said earlier, cautions breed cautions. Could give it almost easily to Rutanius. But yeah, I mean, the only car out there with a penalty at the moment is Curbs. He's down in 15th position. So penalties not seeming at this point to come back into it. I'll hand back to you.
Yeah, well, Meraki now, you can see him in the bottom right-hand corner, just aggressively getting the tyres warm at this point. Obviously, the restart now coming very shortly, folks. It's going to be on Alex Gillen to take them through on the final 10 laps. Rutanius is going to be salivating at the prospect of taking back the lead of the race on soft tyres. Huge opportunity for him to take his first win of the season, and not to mention write his name in the history books as well. Teammate Marduk in behind as well. Meraki in 4th is now for the 5th time. We put pedal to the metal here at the Bahrain Grand Prix. Alex Gillen now gets away well, actually bursts clear at this moment in time from Rutanius, who's now under pressure. Here comes the McLaren of Teammate Marduk, late on the brakes here this time. Incredible move from Ben Daly. Teammate Marduk sprung out of nowhere down the inside, heading in towards turn 1. Still not done yet though. Rutanius with the overspeed. Huge crash. Safso's out. Safso's gone.
Matti Safso and another car involved in the collision. It could be Rasin Shai on the exit of 3 there, and there's a stricken car on the racing line. I think it's too close to another safety car here for one to come out there, but that's what caused that collision. As I said, Matty D involved with that collision, very similar to what happened to Dale at the last restart.
Yeah, and also getting a good jump is Meraki. He's just made a huge overtake heading through the S section. We saw GB68 earlier on pull off the same move, and look at the traction, the overspeed that he's getting on those soft tyres. Teammate Marduk, who is now in the midst of all this. Rutanius, who got mugged by Meraki, he is now making a late charge here in this Bahrain Grand Prix. Strap yourselves in, folks. We're going to be in for a hellacious ride here at this point.
I love that word. And Meraki in 3rd position. Really want to get this job done. Tiamat Marduk will also want to get by Alex Gillen because he's been behind him for so long at this point. Basically, the whole 30 points for Meraki goes very deep into the corner. That will cost him the run out of turns 14 and 15 down the straight, so he won't have an overtaking opportunity this time. No DRS on this lap. Tiamat Marduk will want to get it done soon, but he's not close enough on the run into turn 1. We've seen Alex Gillen's top end speed be enough to hold off Tiamat Marduk for a long time in this race, but he's all over the back of him. Actually a better run through 2 and 3 for Gillen. Again, he'll hold him off, but they'll have DRS next time out. I don't think he's going to be able to break the second toe in this lap unless there's an absolutely killer lap from Gillen.
Yeah, Tell you what, the chat has been in absolute shock, as are we. Tiamat Marduk currently sat in second, chasing after Alex Gillen. Meraki trying to force his way into the mix as well. Now, they need to make use of those soft tyres while they have them, of course. Who knows what will happen in the closing laps? Those mediums could suddenly spring into action, even though it does seem they are still very action-packed right now, even on lap 49 of 57. Gillen now leads the way. Further back, Tiamat Marduk with the DRS. I am sure when it becomes active yet again, he will have a chance to take the fight to the Ferrari that currently leads the way. Meraki in behind as well, currently sits just within half a second, within behind Rutanius, also on soft tyres. We've also got that guy Vince forcing himself into the mix, and how about Infratic? What a race he's having, up into 6th place, and he's on the soft tyre compound as well.
Absolutely, yeah, with only Hayden Gillis behind on the softs behind, so he's maybe not going to be under too much of a bit of pressure from him. But Hayden Gillis has got back into the points nicely here as they come onto the start-finish straight. Tiamat Marduk won't have DRS this time round, but on the run down to 3 to 4, he will. So Tiamat Marduk is looking to put pressure on Alex Gillen for the lead of the race. Alex Gillen has led nearly all of this race, except from the moments that Van Geffen left, but he could be losing it as we head on to lap 50.
He could well do, and I tell you what, fastest lap streaming in as well. Tom taking it, GB68 moving ahead already into the top 10 as he now pushes past the Ferrari of his own right, El Taco Man, and GB68 coming together out of turn 3 as well. I tell you what, there's battles right across this circuit as they peel through towards turn 4. Outside line now, soft tyres here for GB68. The traction will help him as he weaves through towards turn 5. Brilliant move here as we're seeing now the battle resume at the front end. 7 laps of magic to go, 8 laps of magic including this one. Gillen leads, Tiamat Marduk letting fly.
Yeah, Tiamat Marduk within 4 tenths of Alex Gillen, just needs to keep within that DRS range, and he is closing and closing on the straight and probably using a little bit of ERS to get closer, and it will be maybe a move down into turn 1, but Gillen has got to keep the focus so high. Tom and Hayden Gillis actually battling into turn 12. There's contact between the two, and Tom forced off actually through turn 11 it was, and forced off before turn 12 there.
Yeah, it certainly was. Hayden Gillis managing to pounce on the action, move up into 7th place, now chases after Infratic. Great move from him, and now you can zoom on clear. Now Gillis has certainly got a lot of work to do to try and close up on Infratic, but here we go now. DRS opens up here for Tiamat Marduk for him to take the lead of this Bahrain Grand Prix, side by side between the two co-op career mode components. As now Tiamat Marduk, the wonder from down under, takes the lead here at Bahrain yet again, dueling it out with Alex Gillen. It is now his turn to take the lead in the closing laps. Could this be another Silverstone sensation from Tiamat Marduk? We saw it before earlier on in the season, earlier on last season, when he took the lead out of nowhere, took a win out of nowhere on the final lap, and has now predisposed his teammate and his competitor in the 2-player career mode save, Alex Gillen. I tell you what, you can't even write stories like this, Gareth.
No, and of course both of these have won before in the Creator Series. It could be the first time that we have a driver have 2 wins in the series. Meraki also having a win. Van Greffen's charge has just seemed to have quelled a little bit over the last few laps, and he is down in 4th position, but still within DRS of this fight. And those softs, I think, are just starting to become worse for wear. 9 laps of running and probably 4 laps of solid racing on them. Those medium tyres are actually pretty decent. We were concerned that maybe the safety car would have given life to the softs and killed their charge, but Alex Gillen right back behind Tiamat Marduk. He's within 4 tenths, and he will want to close down and get this move done again. I think he has a lot more EOS to burn as well, so that is certainly in the Ferrari driver's favour. But can Tiamat Marduk, who's just got to the top of the Grand Prix at the right time, play defensive mind games again and keep Alex Gillen behind?
Sheer box office, folks, as we're now seeing Tiamat Marduk peel through turns 1, 2 and 3, and now bombs down this next straight up towards turn 4. Further back, Gillen now trying to get himself back within to that range of an attack as they now went through this next 90-degree right and then zip through turn 5, 6 and 7. Rutanius also gaining on competitor Meraki, both of them on the soft tyres, but just look at that, the gap now between P4 and P5 that guy Vince currently locked at over a second as Rasin Chai takes the fastest lap of the race. They're coming in left, right and centre right now. Infratic on for a super abundance of points here at this point in the race. Lap 52 of 57, Teammate Marduk still holds on to the advantage. Meraki getting a lovely exit, I think, heading out of turn 10. Could give him a chance coming through turn 11. If he can tee up a move, Meraki could yet steal second from Alex Gillen.
Yeah, and Alex Gillen will be completely focused on getting by Tiamat Marduk, but sometimes in motorsport, if you don't go forwards, you go backwards, and Meraki will be hoping for that massively. That guy Vince, his debut performance in the Creator Series, you have to hand it to him. 5th place. He's been a bit in the wars today and always fighting with Dirk Chocolate earlier on, but he's got 5th position. Good work from him, but he's a bit in no man's land between this battle at the front 4 separated by under 2 seconds, and emphatic 2.5 seconds back. Alex Gillen closing down towards turn 1.
Yeah, he is, and he's opting for that inside line. Late on the brakes here, very late, as they nearly make contact. Heading through turns 1 and 2, the Ferrari really did send it. Obviously, I think in fear of what Meraki was doing as well in behind. DRS opens up for the 3 cars in behind Tiamat Marduk as they whip through turn 4, almost pushing him around here as Alex Gillen maybe getting in his head, thinking mind games, thinking, come on, Ben, let's fight here on lap 53. As they head now through turn 6 and 7, turn 8 now. Tiamat Marduk, I tell you, it's going to take a lot of courage, a lot of fight to defend the lead of this race.
100%, yeah, he is going to have to focus on recharging the battery and keeping Alex Gillen behind, and he's going to have to hope that he falls into a battle with Meraki, because I think Alex Gillen is not certainly done for the lead of this race here, but Meraki, again, having a good P10, only 3 tenths behind this leading duo, and you cannot take your eyes off it. As you said, box office, and this is going to be a fight to the line. We have 4 laps remaining, and it is going to be absolutely mega to the end.
Every lap that has led to lap 57 means this. It means the first win of the season. It means the first driver to take 2 wins in the series. Everything comes down to these final few laps here at Bahrain. We're on lap 53, soon to be lap 54 of 57. 4 laps will be left here at this point, and now Alex Gillen, who's done waiting, he's going to go searching, squeezing into the inside there, Tiamat Marduk, and now bumping wheels as they head in towards turn 1. Rotanius and Meraki going at it as well as they head out of turn 3 now, down through towards this next little kink in the corner as then they burst down towards turn 4. Side by side they still remain. Tiamat Marduk trying to fight back, defending the inside line. Super move, super switch back, sensational from Alex Gillen through turn 5, 6 and 7. Gillen on top. Brilliant move. Brilliant. Sensational. What a scrap for this lead here in the Creator Series.
It's absolutely elbows out between the 2 of them, and it's Schumacher-esque from Tiamat Marduk pushing him up to the pit wall, and Alex Gillen was having none of it, pushing back, but Rutanius has got by Meraki. I thought Meraki was going to snipe the front 2 out that he broke so late in defence of Rutanius. Rutanius is up to 3rd position here, and he wants to be part of this fight. He's shown he's been quick. He's led the races at stages today, and Tiamat Marduk does have trouble just behind him. He's going to be wanting to get by Alex Gillen at the first chance of returning the favour.
The cork in the bottle has been removed. Alex Gillen now leads the way, but for how much longer? It just seems to be the case that no one's safe. No one can hold on to the lead. Absolute at the end of this Grand Prix. It's lap 54, soon to be lap 55. There'll be 3 laps to go in this Bahrain Grand Prix. Tiamat Marduk chasing it. Rutanius also in the mix. I tell you what though, the longer this goes on, it is simply not going to help the guys on the soft tyres in behind here.
Yeah, I do agree with that. They're 13-lap-old softs, 13-lap-old mediums, but those mediums designed to run longer in the race. We did have that safety car period for part of that soft running, so that does extend the life a little bit, but we saw around lap 12, 13, 14, early on in the race, of course that was a heavier fuel load, that dissipate, but those battling further down the field, as remember, it's LK makes a move on it, Taco Man for 11th position.
He has. He's made it into 11th spot, but I tell you what, we cannot take our eyes off this lead fight. Incredible scenes. The only man not to win 2 races, or not even to win a race, Rutanius, is in this battle in the top 4. We've got 3 drivers that have won a race apiece in the Creator Series, and look at this further back as well. That guy Vince, he is not out of the question. If something was to happen in these final few laps, you know, you've got a string of cars further back that are within a chance here.
Yeah, in the words of Murray Walker, anything could happen in motorsport, and it usually does. And that guy Vince, yeah, absolutely. Any collision between the front four, he could come swiping into this one and get a debut win in the series as we start season 2. It's going to be mega for whoever wins because it will have the lead of the championship at the start of the series. And I think if Alex Gillen wins, he may even think about trying to make every week. That's my sneaking suspicion. He certainly wants to battle Tim McMurdoch as much as possible. We've seen great racing between the two, and I think Tim McMurdoch is just sitting behind Alex Gillen. He wants to make a final lap charge, but actually closing in into turn 1. And that door just closed off there.
Very dangerous indeed. Now, I think you're right. I think wait till the final lap, charge that ERS. Would you not agree, Gareth?
Yeah, charge that EOS because Alex Gillen will be trying to do the same thing, but both of them running quite low, at times clipping on the lights, you can see this. So it's all about that push on the final lap to get by. And also remember, these two are under pressure from Van Geffen and Meraki right behind, and that guy Vince actually just dropping a second on that lap. So I think he's made a little bit of a mistake, but 5th position is going to be a strong result for him still.
Well, I tell you what, an incredible result. I mean, also an incredible result for Infratic. I know he lost out P6 to Hayden Gullis, but it's been an incredible drive. What has been, without a doubt, Infratic's greatest race, in my view, in the Creator Series. But just look at this. Look at this string of cars. This will no doubt go down as one of the iconic, great final lap finales we have seen in the Creator Series to this point. If you're watching at home, folks, you picked the right time to tune in. This, without a doubt, the greatest race in the history of this very series. We're now watching the cars that make their way down through on the penultimate lap towards turns 14 and 15. One final lap of magic now begins here at Bahrain very shortly, and Alex Gillen is going to take them on it as well. But Tiamat Marduk is going to look to try and usurp Alex Gillen, no doubt, for the lead of this race. No doubt needs to throw absolutely everything at it, and turn 4 might have to be the time. Late on the brakes here, he's gone deep. Incredible moment. They make contact coming through turn 2 and turn 3, and they're still bunched together. Here comes Routanius. Incredible move. He's left it late. He's left it late. Outside line now through turn 4. Routanius with a nose in front, but inside line for Gillen. The Marduk's round. Incredible scenes here.
Oh my, Tiamat Marduk desperately trying to do anything at the end there, has created this opportunity for Routanius to win this race. He's only 3 attempts behind the leader, but Alex Gillen somehow clinging on to the lead of this race there. Through all that battling, there was huge contact. Alex Gillen, I'm sure, will be very frustrated, but Tiamat Marduk felt it was his only chance to lunge into the first corner, and I made an inaudible noise there. It was just involuntary.
Incredible scenes here. Alex Gillen now leads the way. Routanius with a tremendous blow heading through the early corners. Amazing scenes. They all tied up through turns 1 and 2, out of turn 3, in towards turn 4. Unfortunately, leading to an oversteering moment for Tiamat Marduk, who is now reduced to 5th place. But what a phenomenal race. It's delivered in an abundance. 5 safety cars here at Bahrain, but 5 safety cars later, it could not usurp this man. Alex Gillen comes through the final corner. He'll cross the line and take victory. The only man to get 2 victories in the Creator Series, and the first of season 2 here in the Creator Series as well. Alex Gillen is your winner at the Creator Series Bahrain Grand Prix. Absolutely sensational here, Gareth.
Routanius in second, a mega drive from him. Meraki will be disappointed to lose out pole position and fall down to 3rd position, but a good fight back from him. That guy Vince gets up into 4th position because of that moment from Tiamat Marduk with only a handful of kilometres to go. It's just, what a crazy end, what a finish, what a great race we have had for the opening round of season 2 of the Creator Series, and I can only imagine what lays ahead. 16 rounds is it that we have coming up, and I'm not quite sure where we are next week, but that was absolutely sensational stuff. 8th for Infratic. He picks up a decent handful of points for the Red Bull outfit.
Well, I tell you what, folks, you witnessed it. You were here for that moment. Infratic, driver of the day, I'm willing to give him that. A tremendous drive from Infratic to take that P8, and I tell you what, I mean, that was one hellacious Grand Prix, and I really hope that we get to see more of it. I tell you what, incredible. But that's your winner. It is going to be Alex Gillen, and a tremendous one at that too. Top spot here for the Ferrari team. And only a reserve for this team as well. Hasn't got a full-time seat, but nevertheless has shown that Ferrari probably need a man of his exceptional skill. Of course, standing in for Juswan Ali in tonight's race at Bahrain, but it's enough to take victory. And keeping, I mean, the battle between him and Tiamat Marduk was iconic. Rutanius then adding himself into the mix as well. I mean, what a sensation. We're going to take a look at the results as well. Alex Gillen, he is confirmed your race winner. Second place for Van Geffen as well. Meraki third. Incredible drive from him too. After starting pole, lost a couple of places, but still did well to come back. That guy Vince in fourth. Tiamat Marduk, it wasn't to be. Fifth is where he ended it. Hayden Gullis P6. GB68 seventh. Infratic in eighth. Tom in ninth. Curbs in 10th place. It's Ilki 11th. El Taco Man in 12th. Matty D13 in 13th. Rasin Chai 14th. And we lost Safso, Mr. Dale, Bushy Ants, Dirk Chocolate, Swave, and Alex Budd. They were your DNFs. But what an incredible Grand Prix. Does it get any better than that, Gareth?
I'm not sure. I'm sure it will do, though. I'm sure the whole season is going to be similar. And there's just so many threads, so many storylines. Safso, our reigning champion, no points, didn't even finish the race. It's miraculous that it's begun like that, and I'm sure that's not how he would have wanted to start. Mr. Consistent last year, and he ends up in a very bad situation. Alex Gillen, of course, taking 26 points. You mentioned he's a reserve. He's never had a full-time seat. 3 participations, a second place in Zandvoort, a win in China, and I tell you what, every time I commentate him, a win in Bahrain too. So absolutely sensational stuff. It shows the level that Alex Gillen competes with, but it was a bit elbows out at times with Tiamat Marduk, and we did see that last lap lunge into the final corner, maybe a little bit of afters and frustration in the racing seat from Tiamat Marduk because of the context down the straight towards the end of that race.
Yeah, absolutely, and what a race it was. We've got one of the drivers in the commentary box as well. It's Jorrit Jan van Geffen. Jorrit, what a tremendous drive. I mean, obviously, we witnessed absolutely everything in that final closing 10 to 15 laps, but that last moment assault on the soft tyres giving you a stupendous podium, but I know you would have wanted the win.
Oh yes, that was absolutely incredible racing. Of course, I really wanted that win, but in my opinion, I'm super happy with P2. You know, I'm not usually here. It was a giga race. It could have been even worse. You know, I could have been off the podium. I was in P4 for a little bit, but you know, I'm quite happy with where I ended today. I had a little bit of a tap from Ben on the last lap, and that unsettled my car, and that could have been, I think that could have been a win, but it's okay. I'm super happy with P2. I'm not usually here, but I do expect to be here some more times this season. I'm super happy with this, man.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was a tremendous drive. You gave it everything towards the end. I mean, looking back, I mean, did you think you probably should have made the move a little earlier in the closing laps, or did you feel that you had to leave it late?
I drove as fast as I could, and if there was an opportunity, I would have taken it. Although before the last safety car and those, I was driving a bit more passively to make sure that I was all okay, saving the ERS and all that. But yeah, at the end, I couldn't really do much more. I was driving the wheels off my car as fast as I could, and this is basically what was possible. It's a shame about that little tap at the end there. Maybe it would have been something, maybe not, but I had some sick battles, an insane switchback, I hope it was caught on stream, and some other insane stuff. So super happy.
I think
How many times did you blow your flute today?
I think a solid 7 or 8 times, because we had a little flute for the lap guy. And we had some other amazing moments, but yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean that closing lap. I mean, we got everything on camera pretty much. We followed that battle right through to the end, after the final safety car. But I mean, obviously this must install some confidence in you towards the end of the season, you know, or certainly at the start of this season as we now make our way through the rest of the calendar. I mean, you know, you're still yet to get your first win in this series, which is unbelievable because you're always involved in the big moments.
Yeah, indeed. Well, a big difference from today and the other races is that today I was a lot more confident my camera was actually not working today, but it caused me to have a more stable frame rate today. So that gave me a bit more confidence to be a bit more consistent, and I really noticed that I was way more consistent today, and confident and nice and passive when needed, but aggressive when needed too. So the perfect balance with that. So yeah, I'm expecting to be a bit more, consistent like this, like I was today on the next couple tracks, and we'll see how it goes. What is the next track? Do you know that?
Let's have a look at the calendar.
It's
I think Gareth's got it.
Mexico.
Mexico.
Viva
A
la
very,
Mexico.
very unique choice for the start of the season.
Yeah, well, not my best, but I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna try my best and see where we end up. Bahrain also isn't my best circuit, and look where I ended up today. Anything can happen.
It absolutely can. But congratulations on a brilliant podium, though, Rutanius, and I'm sure we'll see you back up there again. The first win is just around the corner. I can smell it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We're going to bring in now Jake as well. We got Jake. Sorry, Jake, I've taken you away from Ben Daly.
Just having a very nice conversation.
Yeah, we've just decided to sit. Should I bring him in as well? Should we just
go on? You might as well.
Yeah, come on, we'll bring Ben in as well, because I've just totally jackknifed your conversation right there.
You just drug me in mid-sentence.
Yeah, incredible. But yeah, incredible moment, Jake. I mean, obviously, there was a final 4-car scrap right to the very end. Obviously, you were right in the thick of it as well on the soft tyres. Just talk us through those last few laps.
It was one of the most fun races I think I've I guess done in Creator Series. I think because my race pace for once wasn't terrible.
We'd agree with that. I think as commentators, I think it was genuinely the most exciting, thrilling Creator Series race I think we've had.
My pace was okay, and it was just I had a bit too much downforce on. So I couldn't really stay as close as I wanted to, and I think maybe if I was a couple 3-4 attempts closer on that on the final lap where it started kicking off, I might have been able to make something happen. But yeah, I was just a little bit too far back. But I'm happy. I'm happy with the race pace. The quali pace was great. So
well, I mean,
I'm happy.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was the right call. Obviously, cutting in onto those soft tyres towards the end.
Yeah.
Obviously, it needed to be done. Everyone pretty much boxed towards the end anyway for that 5th safety car. But was it a case that you just sort of managed the tyres, because obviously you guys still had 15 laps to do on that compound. Obviously, the last safety car helped you out. Were you a bit conscious of the tyre wear at the same time?
Not necessarily, because the setup that I had, it kind of favoured, I guess, more worn tyres. So as the stint kind of got on, I should have probably got a bit quicker relative to everybody else. I think I saw that towards the end on the at the start.
Was that Brett Koch's handiwork by any chance?
Maybe. But towards the end of the first stint on the mediums, before the stage car came out, I had pretty good pace. But it's just that it came out kind of at the wrong time, really, I guess. Yeah. But I'm happy. It's a podium. I'm very, very happy. It was a fun race. So
yeah, the pole lap was superb as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't know where that came from.
It was absolutely brilliant. I mean, it has to be said. We got your reaction on the picture-in-picture, which is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so we got that on camera. But yeah, no, sensational race. I tell you, one man who probably won't agree with the fact that it was the greatest Creator Series race of all time will be this next man we talked to, which is Ben Daly. Ben, what happened?
Yeah. Alex Gillen happened.
Oh, it's the likely one.
No. It was on me. I didn't want to sit behind Alex and finish P2. I wanted to go for it, so I went for it at turn 1. I feel like I haven't seen any replays, so take what I say with a pinch of salt. I feel like he closed the door at the apex, and we made contact. That was all fine. Then it was really tight between me, Ruta, and Alex heading into turn 4. I think I took an outside line, and Ruta was maybe braking a little bit earlier on used softs. So that would turn into carnage, and somehow I spun. So that was my race. But somehow ending up in P5 despite spinning is not too bad.
You're pretty consistent though, pace-wise. I mean, you held P2 for quite some time, and did take Alex for P1, and we do love that rivalry between you two, because obviously it extends from obviously your 2-player career modes that you guys do, which is pretty cool. You're bound to still get your second win though, aren't you? I mean, of course you won that superb Silverstone race. Obviously, we won't say who was in first at that time. but you know, surely another win must just be around the corner.
I think so, yeah. The pace feels pretty good, especially like on longer runs. With all the safety cars today, I don't think that really helped my chances. My tyres were cold on every restart. It felt like it was hard to get going, but I'm sure my luck will turn around. And you know, Alex isn't racing next week, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, he won't DNF or he won't spin, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be great.
Incredible. No, I thought cracking job from yourself, and obviously we'll wish you the very best of luck when we head to Mexico.
Can I just say one final bottle for the day?
Yeah, hit us.
Is I forgot to turn on picture-in-picture until
you let
2
me down.
minutes ago.
Let me down.
The app was open and everything.
Yeah, you let me down. Do you know what?
Just didn't hit the start button.
I've got a nice long list of infractions here that people have done. We've had that guy Vince and Matty D13 using the wrong numbers, and they used the wrong name. So, I'm going to start bringing in the race suspension rule at this rate. So, I'm going to be.
I think so.
I'm going to be passing that on to Dirk Chocolate later on. Brutal. But yes,
ban everybody.
Ban them all. Yeah, incredible. No, I mean, congratulations, Ben. It was a great effort, great drive. I'm going to bring in the giraffe now, Hayden Gullis, because I think we need to talk to him, because he was responsible for probably what was one of the greatest murders of all time. And that was on, I think it was on Zafso, if I'm not mistaken. Hayden, were you responsible for that?
I was not responsible for any murder at all. What are you on about?
Well, there was a huge DNF, and it wasn't me, to be honest. Gareth actually said that you might have been. Did someone just move him out of the commentary box?
I think they did.
Incredible. No.
I presumed that you were part of a collision with Dale.
No. Honestly, I was part of a collision with Dale. Yeah, that happened, sadly.
See, you were.
He was on the hards. I had to go for it early on, otherwise he would have held me up. We were in a good position. So actually, I was quite surprised. I was very positive about today's race. I was actually really enjoying it. And then he got caught on the outside. Jake was on my inside. I think both of them just didn't leave me enough room in the middle, and we all came together. And unfortunately, me and Dale were the ones caught up most in that, which was really frustrating. But then, yeah, Zafso got murdered in that pile-up, and I just put my foot to the floor, and I don't know how I got through it, honestly. Like, it was absolutely insane.
Just chance your arm and just go for it at that point.
Yeah, I needed that bit of luck, though, because after what had just happened, I was down, I was out of the points after such a good first two-thirds of the race. And then I thought it was all just going to crumble away, but we managed to get back in P6. I'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that has got to be your best Creator Series performance, isn't it? So far?
No, because before the championship got reset, I won a race. Thank you very much. And before that, I got podiums.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
I got podiums. I was back. I was back to where I usually am, just being consistent, being clean, not getting into trouble, being smart. You know, if there's a driver behind me, let him through. Use the arrest, tow him.
Do you believe him?
He spun in front of me, so no comment.
No, you took me out.
Wait,
you were a culprit.
If I speak,
with Dale,
if I speak,
squeezed me.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
I got a tap from someone on the rear, and you were there, and Dale was also there. Dale did say sorry. He did drop it. In all fairness, I think it was
tell
Dale.
You what, if Harry in the live chat's listening, I tell you what, this is quality content for the TikTok. But no, honestly. I honestly thought this was a great Hayden Gullis performance, if I'm honest.
I was happy with it. I mean, Jake obviously was on the worst tyres, so I'm not saying that I was quicker than him on merit. Obviously, he had the worst of tyres. I was doing a good job to sort of stay with Tom and then drop Jake from the DRS. And then I thought Jake was going to get me on the restart anyway, so it was just a case of getting past Dale, stay in the DRS of the guys in front. Once Jake's ready to make that move, stick with him, and then just see what could happen amongst the leaders. And I feel like I could have got a P4 today. So to recover back to P6, yeah, I'm happy with it in the end after what happened.
And good points as well for the championship as a whole.
Yeah, after Bushy bottled it. What's that all about? He's the man who's supposed to be at the front, getting loads of penalties and retiring. What has he done?
Yeah, it helps us.
Yeah, he helps people like Jake. But you know, I mean, are you missing GB already? Is that what you're saying?
No, because GB finished behind me as well. So clearly, I'm in the market for a new teammate. Maybe me and Jake need to buddy up. Then he wouldn't squeeze me so much, and I could have let him through a little bit later.
I would still squeeze you.
How dare you? Only after the race, right? Only after the race.
That's for the Creator Series evening show later on.
Yeah,
that one. But no, cracking job, Hayden. No doubt we'll see you at the very top again. Another Sterling show. And,
hopefully.
we'll say a little prayer for you, mate. It's fine. But yeah, incredible. And thank you as well, Jake. And great performance from yourself.
Thank you.
Superb pole lap. But yes, folks, at home, that was a sensation of a race. Would you not agree, Gareth?
Honestly, yeah. One of the best Creator Series races so far. And I say so far because we have 16 races coming up this season. And I'm sure they'll all be brilliant. Please follow if you haven't already. Stay tuned for the rest of the season. It's going to be a long one, all the way up to the end of F122. And there's going to be some great content coming up. So yeah, absolutely stay tuned to the channel. It's a great race.
Yeah, if you're a fan of the F1 games by Codemasters, obviously the Creator Series is the best place for you to go. I mean, naturally, F123 has just been teased. It's just around the corner, folks. So do not miss a trick. But we're going to be bringing you some incredible F122 content right to the very end. Stay with this championship. There's going to be a lot more of these happening, a lot more conversations like this happening too. But folks, if you want to check out the Creator Series, first of all, you need to hit the follow button on the stream, first of all. Not forgetting as well to check out the socials at F1 Creator Series on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. You can also find them on YouTube as well. The VODs get uploaded there as well. Make sure you get your clips in as well, your favourite moments. Talk about the Creator Series, not forgetting that hashtag as well, hashtag Creator Series. Join the Discord too. Of course, we've got the links there on the channel as well, so you can stay tuned into absolutely everything. My name as well has been George Morgan. I've been your commentator tonight. If you want to check me out on social media, at George Morgan TV on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. And you can also follow this man next to me, Gareth Allen. Do you want to share that? Do you want to share your socials as well, mate?
Just on Twitter. I can't
Just
do
on
all
Twitter.
the multiple ones.
Just on
but
Twitter.
Gareth Allen TV, at Gareth Allen TV. You can find me there.
He is Twitter. He is Twitter.
Yeah, I am Twitter. I'm not Elon Musk, am I?
Incredible. No, honestly, check him out. Gareth Allen TV, everybody, on Twitter. Make sure you check him out as well. But folks, what a privilege it has been and what a race. Alex Gillen, the first driver to take 2 wins in the Creator Series. Rutanius, surely his turn must just be around the corner. Stay tuned in when we go racing at Mexico next time, here live on the F1 Creator Series. Take care, folks. Goodbye.